ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it.
Live from the Busch Light Studio.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Name of one Razorback.
Is vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man.
Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
All right, good morning. I see it. The voice is going to get a little bit better as we go throughout the show today. It's Friday. I'm so happy to make it to the end of this week. This is halftime. Phil Olsen, still not going to sound like myself. Matt Jones in studio with Christian Johnston in there as well. Today, getting back with James Teague from the Teague Law Firm for some baseball talk at 12:15. Neil Atkinson, 1:15. We'll talk with Aaron Torres and see all the noise going on behind him in about 15 minutes. Saw the dumbest thing I could have seen all week last night, Matt. I was perusing social media, and I come across a T-shirt that the Big Ten is selling. And they are celebrating what they call the Big Ten trifecta on this T-shirt. You know anybody? Do you know any? Well, I don't know if you know Ohio State fans or Michigan fans. Let's put it in this case. Let's say that Alabama wins a national championship, Auburn wins a national championship the next year, maybe Georgia after that. I think we've dealt with this recently. Alabama, LSU, and Georgia, right? Let's go with those. Do you know any Georgia fans that are going to wear a T-shirt that celebrates a championship that Alabama won? and vice versa, Alabama fans celebrating a Georgia championship because it was an SEC team. Here is a T-shirt with a Michigan logo next to an Ohio State logo, next to an Indiana University logo, and there's nobody on any one of those campuses that is going to buy that T-shirt. This might be the dumbest T-shirt in college football history, my friend.
Hey, man, happy Friday. Yeah, that seems weird. It seems like people just do things just to see if it sticks. Maybe if Mississippi State won the national championship, maybe they would feel inclined because Indiana's never been a power in football. Maybe that's something to do with it. But I don't ever want to wear any other team in the SEC than the Razorbacks on my shirt.
Well, it's not like it's like, is there going to be a Purdue fan that picks up a shirt like this, or an Iowa fan? This is going to be the most. I saw it called this too, and it's probably the right way to call it, the most unpurchased shirt in college football history. It's just go in the Big Ten offices, just basically worn by Jim Delaney and any of the administrators in the Big Ten offices, because those are the guys that are going to celebrate it. I don't think that Michigan fans are celebrating Indiana's championship and Indiana celebrating Ohio State's championship. That's just that's silliness right there. Someone has to come up with this idea, though, right? I mean, someone there are idea people that work at these clothing shops that say, you know what, it'd be a great idea. Be a great idea, since the Big Ten is now the best conference in college football, to celebrate that by putting a logo of each of the champions in the last 3 years. That tells me that somebody doesn't really, the person who came up with that idea has no idea about what college fans really want to celebrate, which is their own championship. Yeah, I mean, and I don't know if Big Ten fans are the same way that SEC fans used to be, where you're chanting for your league and everything like that. And I can still sense that, although it's died off a little bit, somewhat. Anyway, it's like, are you going to see, are Buffalo Bills fans going to be celebrating if New England wins this championship? No. The Rams, even though they've got a Super Bowl championship in the last 5 years, are they going to be celebrating if the Seahawks win and get a T-shirt for it? Yay, NFC West, NFC West, NFC West. It doesn't work that way. I remember, though, and I don't know if it's still the same way. Did you ever look at it this way, Matt? I grew up a Steelers fan. I'm still a Steelers fan. So I, kind of lean towards the AFC. And 80s and 90s, there was, I forget how long it was, there was that time period, 12, 13 years where the NFC had that streak of Super Bowl champions, and it felt like the NFC championship game was really the Super Bowl.
Dallas, San Francisco, Green Bay.
Washington, yeah.
I think, was Denver the first one to
That's
kind of win it? Yeah.
I think when they beat
The Giants. Yeah, the NFC East were crushing it there.
That's right. It was when Denver beat Favre and the Packers that ended that drought. Which, gosh, I think that must have gone. I think that went for 14 years. So I think it was like from 1983
So like
to
96.
maybe something like 13 years
Yeah.
or so. So there was a little bit of that then. I mean, I counted myself as an AFC fan just because my team played there. You have people in baseball that are that way. NL guy, AL guy.
Now it's so muddled, though, and I don't know if it's a good – I don't think it's a good thing, actually. I think you need divisions, you need conferences, but now they're like, oh, we want to do I get having like one cross a conference game, but now it's everybody plays everybody. NBA's even talking about not having divisions almost. Like they want to let everybody in.
Don't they seed the playoffs just
we've
basically
watered it down
on through the conference?
The regular season is the weirdest in American sports. It's just they're all exhibition games just to get to the tournament. It's you get paid for it, and I get all that, but it's not so like strenuous anymore. It's not so life or death. It doesn't matter as much to the overall fan or like we had Dudley on. I love Dudley, and I think most people think like this. I said, well, what did we talk about when you talk about last year's Razorback team? Did we talk about how they did this or didn't? No, that we always lead with they made it to the Sweet 16. That's it. This team right now, this basketball team, nobody cares. Like who like it's only a bad thing if we go to Mississippi State and LSU and get beat. Whatever we do for the next couple games in the regular season, it's just like, all right, whatever. He's getting them fine tuned. If you make a run in March and we make it to an Elite Eight, everybody's going to say this has been the best year. Coach Cal's the best. If we don't make it past the opening weekend, the sky's falling. That's how this college basketball season works. That's how it goes.
It's the same with baseball at Arkansas too. Maybe not in every other place, but when you're so used to being successful in the regular season and you have a success in the postseason, but it doesn't include that national championship, that's what everybody's going to be pining for. And that's the only thing that anyone's going to care about, too. Is it unfair? Yeah, I think it's a little bit unfair. But it also is kind of the way that it is at the same time. It's odd. So, I mean, it's like I have this pride about the SEC Baseball League and how strong it is. But I'm not going to be going out there, like, celebrating LSU's championships like 2 of the last 3 years. Come on now. It's just an appreciation that it's a great league, but you don't have to celebrate the other team's successes at the same time. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe anybody. I would like to see just one photo of a person actually wearing this Big Ten trifecta championship T-shirt, and that would take a photo of it and then send it to the Louvre because it's going to be a one of one. Because there ain't going to be anybody that wears that thing at all.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Maybe they're going to Africa to where the Bills won 4 straight Super Bowls. Those right. Championship T-shirts. They're going to be the talk of the town in.
All of a sudden in Angola, are going to have a lot
South America. Yeah,
a lot of kids that are wondering what is this logo that looks like a
Well, and with the transfer portal, Phil, that maybe that's what they're thinking. Maybe there's kids that go to all these teams. Like, hey, look, you can play for all these teams now. You can be a boy or a girl. You can be whatever you want. Just hop in the portal.
You can play for If you play for Michigan, Ohio State, and Indiana in your career,
that would be
amazing,
wild.
Wouldn't it? That would absolutely be amazing.
It'd be like playing for Arkansas, Ole Miss, and LSU. Like some of these kids, you're just like, oh my goodness.
Seth texted and he says, "It sounds like I smoke 3 packs a day when I laugh."
That was a good. Oh, dude, I thought you had a Virginia Slim like lit up that cough right there. That was good.
I'll hack all of this up at some point today. But I finally started taking guaifenesin. It's the stuff that's supposed to loosen up the phlegm in your chest and get it up. It's just like I took the first of these pills about an hour ago. Might have a whole segment of just, hacking up a lung at some point today. That ought to be a lot of fun. Isn't that nice? Make sure you got your earbuds in nice and clear so you can hear me, lose part of my throat in the middle of the show. Why not? Yeah, there'll be lots of that to get to as well. This is just basically how I sound today. I'm back on the air for women's basketball Sunday. I missed last night's game. I watched it on television, which is very odd. It's the first live broadcast that I've missed for illness in 22 or 23 years. It doesn't feel right. But I enjoyed watching the broadcast and with Brett and with Zim. And man, they came close last night, Matt, but it's 10 straight losses, unfortunately, 87-82. And man, they had their chances. Just really couldn't score at the end. I think just kind of legs might have been not underneath them for that last few minutes. There were, last night, 75 three-point attempts in the Arkansas-Mizzou women's basketball game. The Hogs took 43, which represents well more than half of the shot attempts. So it was, and both, teams shot fairly well to a point, but I thought last night was the chance. Really did think last night was the chance to snap that losing streak. So hopefully by the time we get to 11 in the morning on Sunday, Matt, I'll have some of this phlegm coughed up and I can have a little more power behind my voice because it's not easy to call games when you got half a voice. And then, baseball's coming up a week from today and I'm on the call for the first three. So, yeah, if anybody knows how to just get this stuff out of here as quickly as possible, I'll take your advice. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. We'll have your calls and your texts all throughout the show today. And in a moment, we'll go visit with Aaron Torres and see the noise going on in the background. So stay with us.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946. And thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value menu has so much Lutz, it's starting to go to people's heads. I'm the Lutzierge.
Which is the mini taco salad fork?
Here to help them cope. So when you try the mini taco salad, beefy potato loaded griller, or chips and nacho supreme dip, enjoy the Lutz. Just don't let it go to your head.
Yeah, bring the car around.
You know there's no valet.
Then who's getting the car?
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
There's nothing better than hitting a bet unless your whole crew hits it with you. That's what MyBookie's all about. Are you ready for the next 2 weeks of the NFL? We're hooking you up with 2 can't-lose locks of season. Bet up to $10 per lock and double your money when they hit. Select the Lock of Season tab in the sportsbook. Wager up to $10 per lock. Double your money on 4 bets that can't lose. Don't forget about the Bet Back bonus. Go to MyBookie now, punch in code HOGS, and get your first bet covered up to $500. If you don't hit on the first bet, just use your Bet Back bonus token and run it back. Must opt in to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they love the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Aaron Torres is on our Lewis Automotive Group hotline here on a Friday morning as we are, we're within 24 hours from the next tip-off for Arkansas against Mississippi State. And Aaron, I don't know if you realize this, but the Razorbacks have not won a game at the hump since 2015. And Mississippi State has kind of been dominant in these last 11 years against Arkansas. It hasn't just been at the hump, it's been at Bud Walton too. It's like, try to figure some things out that don't make sense, and there's one for you right there.
Well, I mean, all I remember is history where Arkansas needed to beat Mississippi State at BWA last year on, I believe it was the final Saturday of the regular season. I believe there was a DJ Wagner 3 late. I think Big Z did some Big Z things. I think the Razorbacks got a win. So, Phil, I can't tell you what happened in 1928 when we were using leather. I guess we still use leather basketballs, but peach nets and, two-handed set shots. What I can tell you is Coach Cal is 1-0 as the Hogs coach against Mississippi State, or at least he was 1-0 last March. I don't know if they played twice last year. So I'm going with that history, and I'm going with the Hogs. But it is a tough place to play, and, I'll say this really quick, is that I think the week off helps, right? I think if you played, say, Tennessee on a Tuesday and say you got the win and then you had to turn around and go there, but I would hope that with the week off, we get something close to the best version of the Razorbacks tomorrow against Mississippi State.
How do you think they do, Aaron, on this little 2-game road trip? At Mississippi State, at LSU are their next 2 games. We know it's hard to win on the road, but it's 2 teams that likely Mississippi State and LSU aren't going to make the NCAA tournament. Is it important that Arkansas kind of gets a little more consistent, 6-3 in the first 9? If we go 6-3 in these next 9 in the back half of the season, is successful regular season?
So I think, first of all, to the first point, Matt, it's imperative. I mean, listen, this is what good teams do. I mean, it's kind of actually a little bit amazing to me. You look at the top of college basketball right now, and I don't think from a talent perspective, Arkansas is that far off from a lot of these teams, but, Arizona's undefeated. Duke has 1 loss on a neutral court to Texas Tech, who, I know Arkansas beat them, but we know is a good team. UConn has won 18 straight, and the fan base is frustrated because they're not winning in a certain way. So the notion that you can't or shouldn't beat bad teams on the road, it's just not true. Duke is doing it. UConn's doing it. And so that's why I think it's so important, is because I still hold out hopes for this Arkansas team because I know how talented they are. But as we enter February, it's kind of put up or shut up time, right? It's kind of, is this, we've talked about this for weeks, guys. Is this who you're going to be? Are you going to be one great game, one okay game, one bad game, two great games, one step back, or are you going to consistently put it together over a stretch of 2, 3, 4 weeks at a time when it matters most? So one, I do think I know we don't call it the bye week in basketball, but the bye week I thought came at an important time. And now as we enter the second half of the season, who are you and what do you want to be as a team? What do you want to be remembered for? And I think that goes to a lot of what Cal has tried to preach, in a lot of his media availabilities of basically are you a team that wants to be remembered for something? And in these press conferences, he said repeatedly, I'm trying to convince them, hey, there's hundreds of millions of dollars on the line if you guys do this right, but it's up to you. And I think at a certain time, it does have to be player-led, and they have to be the ones that decide that they're going to give maximum effort every time they take the court.
You think he's talking specifically in terms of defense? Because that's what it is. I mean, you got a team that can beat anybody down the floor on the fast break. We didn't see it against Kentucky at all, but throughout most of the season you do. But they can be beaten down the floor defensively pretty easily. It's a little difficult to, balance those two things sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of things. I mean, Trev, listen, let's go player, but we're not through the whole team. But, I was at one point in the season calling Trevin Brazile the biggest mismatch in college basketball. I don't think I was wrong when I said that, but he's got to do it over the course. Yeah, I mean, and so pick a player, DJ Wagner, listen, Carter Knox. I mean, I listened to the press conference after the Kentucky game where he's like, I pulled Carter Knox aside and said, is this who you're going to be every day? The one thing I will say, guys, and I noticed this even in the wins, I was starting to wonder, and, I do still wonder, when you have a player as great as Darius Acuff, are you relying too much on just him to take over games and to fix everything when things aren't going well? And it's not even the coaching staff. I think it's the players. And I noticed that against Oklahoma, and I noticed it in some of the other games that they won, but they were close, is just that, this notion of everybody's just kind of standing around waiting for him to go do something. Now, I do think, there's the cliche basketball talking point of, do you have a guy that you trust with the ball in your hands late in the game? And that's something that you always want as a basketball team. But I do think in the games, even before Kentucky, that they were winning, I did think there were times where it was too much of, hey, we just know Darius can go get us a bucket. So, I thought they were relying too much on that. So I think this is a team, let me put it this way, guys, is the good news is the potential is there, right? There's probably, 330-plus teams in college basketball right now that's like, it doesn't matter what flip we switch way or nothing is going to come of the final 6 weeks of this season. If you're a Butler fan, if you're a DePaul fan, if you're a LSU fan, you just kind of are who you are. I think the good news for Arkansas is there is another level for them to go to, and if they get to that level and if they get there consistently, I still believe this is a team that can play with anybody in college basketball. So it's a lot of different things. To your point, Phillips, defensively, I think to the point that all three of us have made, it's getting more consistency from, players really other than Darius Acuff and Billy Richmond. But now it's time to actually do it. We've been talking about it on and off for 3 months. It's time to actually go ahead and do that.
Yeah, I think you're on to something, Aaron. Whenever you have one or two guys that are taking like 90% of the shots, and I get that you want your better players taking the shots, you have it. It's human nature. You have a tendency to just kind of stand and watch, and it's like when you get on a football team with a good running back. It's like, okay, we keep giving them the ball. When are you going to break one for 70 yards? We keep just kind of watching. Speaking of watching basketball, though, there's a big one tonight. Your UConn Huskies travel to St. John's. What's the matchup when I'm going to watch that game tonight? What's the matchup I should be looking for?
Yeah, first off, and I'll try to be quick here, even before the matchup, I think it's kind of an important game for the Big East because it's almost, I hate to say it, guys, I'm a UConn guy. It's almost like Gonzaga in the WCC, where the middle and the bottom of the league is so bad that there's just not a lot of marquee games. And so as far as the matchups, listen, the two teams are kind of who you would think they are. They both, they're a combined, I believe, 20-1 in league play. And, I think the X factor for St. John's, they have a super athletic guy, almost like a Trevin Brazil type, named Dylan Mitchell, who actually played at Texas for a few years, so fans might remember him. And he's a guy that can kind of go in the post and kind of defend a five, but he's also one of those guys that can chase around some of UConn's wing players. So, listen, I'm not trying to sound like an arrogant UConn fan, but as any fan that's team is 22-1, their alma mater is 22-1, you're happy with. I think the resume was really impressive in November, December. I think they've been getting by just on talent alone the last few weeks. So I think it's a big test for them. But that is the one factor. If you're watching tonight, Matt, there's a player named Dylan Mitchell on St. John's that's about 6'10". Again, very Trevin Brazili, super athletic, can guard multiple positions. And that's the spot that I just don't know if UConn has a matchup for. And listen, there's going to be a lot of UConn fans there. I do actually like St. John's to win that game, but it should be a really fun one. And like I said, I think it's kind of an important moment for the Big East to get these two teams on the national stage.
We were all shocked, and you probably were yesterday, listening to Kelvin Sampson's poverty comments about, and I think he was mostly just speaking about.
And he has 2 first-rounders on this team.
Right, but is he talking about his program? Or is he just talking about the Houston Athletic Department overall? Because I understand in terms of revenues, Houston's way on the bottom end in the Power Four, but they put their resources into men's basketball, don't they?
Yeah. No, listen, there are certainly some broader conversations to have. I'll just say this: listen. I think at this point, everybody is kind of writing checks that they're not sure how they're totally going to cash because, that's the name of the game. And it is funny, guys, and you guys cover football and basketball just like I do. Every portal cycle in either sport, it's like, this is things where the market really corrects itself. And it's like, no, it really doesn't. And I think it's going to be the same thing in April. There's a finite amount of good players. And, there's a number of programs that expect to compete at the highest level, whether it is Arkansas, Houston, UConn, whatever. And so when I saw that, I kind of just chuckled because I think I didn't know if it was to kind of try to motivate his boosters as we get closer to portal season. And maybe he feels like right now he doesn't have the resources to compete when that portal actually opens in April. I don't think that Houston, they can cry poverty if they want. I don't think when we're talking about, budgets for basketball that they're like anywhere near the bottom of the Big 12, let alone the power conferences in college basketball. So I kind of just rolled my eyes. I think the point that Sampson, I think, was trying to make, and he didn't actually make this point, is that it really isn't sustainable every single offseason for the football team, for the basketball team, for the, non-power sports. Phil, you would know baseball better than any of us, but for all these coaches to go to the same boosters and say, hey, I know I said last year was the last time, but hey, I need a check or we're not going to be able to get this guy. And I think that's kind of what I read it as, is like, he didn't say that this current model isn't sustainable, but I really don't think that it is because, again, I know I'm going long. I'll try to be quick here. There's only so many boosters that can write so many checks before they say, okay, I'm done with this. And I'm guessing that Houston is probably like a lot of places where the same handful of guys and girls is tired of funding the entire operation. So, like I said, I think it's a bigger statement on where college sports is. I don't think that if Kelvin Sampson goes into the portal and wants a guy or he needs to keep a guy after the season, that he won't be able to do it strictly because of money.
Hey, AT, we least amount of football Super Bowl talk I've ever done in my 8 years or so of radio. What I was going to kind of get your feel on it is the NFL they're trying to go global. Games in Paris, games in Spain, games in Germany. What is the feel? How are you feeling about this Super Bowl, and who do you got?
Yeah, I'll say this. It's funny, prepared for my show tomorrow night. Obviously, we start our text thread a little, Thursday, Friday of the week. And I think both my partner, Jason Martin, and I feel the same way. Less buzz than ever. And I'll say this, guys, I was thinking about this is, we always talk about, the NBA is the star-driven sport, and the NFL is about the shield, right? And so I bring it up because I think this is the first year that the NFL, it feels like, has been impacted by a quote-unquote lack of star power, right? For 15 years, you basically had either a Brady or a Manning in the Super Bowl, and then that immediately transitioned into the Mahomes, Allen, Jackson era, where I know Lamar and Josh Allen haven't made Super Bowls, but you have those guys playing late into the playoffs. And so I think you kind of, you turned on those two conference championship games and you sat there and said, okay, like the Darnold story is kind of interesting, but like it's not if Lamar made a Super Bowl or Josh Allen made a Super Bowl or Joe Burrow was going back. And, the Patriots, I think it speaks for themselves where, some people just don't even want to see them here at all, but even if people are somewhat interested in the story, they beat the Broncos without their quarterback and, weird playoff run, whatever. So no, I'm with you, Matt, is that, even as we prepare our show for tomorrow, I think it's going to be more, NBA trade deadline stuff, maybe a little Charles Bediako stuff, whatever, because it just doesn't feel like the public is as interested in this game. Listen, once the game starts, people will watch, but the lead-up in conversation, I just don't feel like the conversations and narratives are there.
The Bediako, isn't the Bediako hearing today? And I saw Sankey is on the NCAA side, which I wonder how Alabama feels about that. What's their record with Bediako? Are they 1-1? Are they 2-2 with Bediako?
Yeah, they're 2-2. They barely survived at home against A&M the other day. It was pretty jarring, guys, that Sunday game against Florida where Bediako is just a total non-factor, and Florida has three guys in that front court that are very clearly going to play in the NBA, and you can see the difference between an NBA player and a non-NBA player, and I hate to be crass, but, he's a professional, is that you can see that Charles Bediako, when put against real NBA talent, isn't anywhere close. So they're 2-2. I thought after that first game against Tennessee that maybe he would have an impact, but he just clearly hasn't. And, and I think we might have talked about this last week, guys. Nate Oates will never be totally transparent, but I think if you gave him some truth serum, I think if you gave Greg Byrne, the AD, some truth serum, and you ask them, like, was this really worth it? You've become a national punching bag to your...
Did he go?
There, I hear him.
Because it's been a bad look. It's been an embarrassing look, and it has really had no impact on the bottom line of how good or bad their actual basketball team is.
AT, we'll leave it there. We're up against the break. Hope you enjoy the Super Bowl and all the radio that goes along with it, and we'll visit about it next week, okay?
All right. Thanks, fellas. Have a great afternoon. If anybody's driving around after Super Bowl, Fox Sports Radio, I'll be on at about 11 p.m. Eastern time. So thank you, guys. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
Thanks, Aaron. It's Aaron Torres, Aaron Torres Media, and the Aaron Torres Sports Podcast. One question I'd have, Matt, for you maybe on why there isn't that much buzz about the Super Bowl. And I think a lot of the conversation throughout the week, and it's not just on this show, I think it's on a lot of other programming as well. There's the NBA trade deadline, but the chaos of college sports, I think, really has grabbed people's attention. The lack of knowledge of what it means to be eligible or not eligible, I think, has really interested people, and the current state of college sports. It's like, we've got into this in December, how anger is a feature of the sport, and controversy is a feature. You don't have any of that in the NFL, not for this year's Super Bowl. There might have been in other years, but it's a stable sport. There's no stability in college sports right now, and I think that's got people's interest.
Well, and who are the superstars? You can't name one. There's not one superstar in this game. I mean, Stephen Diggs, maybe is that really where we're going? It's like superstars. You don't have to debate it. You don't. It's not like, oh, is it? No, we know who the superstars are. I don't know that there's one. There's not a big name. There's not a quarterback.
Well, there's one who's on the way up. The offensive player of the year is Jackson and Jigba Smith, a Seattle receiver. I mean, he won that award yesterday, but it's just that it's only his third year in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think it takes some time, 877-377-6963, our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. We'll come back in a moment and continue this conversation. This is Halftime.
Fundraise, 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 fundraise.
This is Halftime.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the relief hotline at 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Stay warm and dry this winter with Byrne and Carhartt winter workwear. Muck, dry shod, and extra tough rubber footwear to keep those toes dry. Winter clearance racks are full of casual and hunting clothing at 50% off. A select group of Western boots now 50% off. Crappie season is coming and fishing gear is arriving daily. Gelco Outdoors. Work, hunt, fish. That's what we do. Gelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Bush. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
It's tax season and those checks are coming, so put that refund to work and come see Cody and the gang at Advanced Mechanical Performance in Fort Smith. Need repair or service on your ATV or UTV? Advanced Mechanical Performance can do it all. Plus, they've got you covered on power sports parts and accessories too. Call 434-4161. That's 434-4161. Or stop by 3201 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith. Advanced Mechanical Performance. It's what you should be striving for.
What's the play this Valentine's Day? At ESPN Arkansas, we can lead you to a score. Head to hitthatline.com and register to win a pink sapphire and diamond necklace from Swift's Jewelry. And gift cards from Cupid's Lingerie, Gregory Jewelers, and Joshua's Fine Jewelry. No purchase necessary. You can register once per day, plus earn other entries by following our social media accounts. The winner will be announced on Friday, February 13th during halftime. Hitthatline.com/Valentine's Day.
Looking for a career with a company built to last? At Forsgren, we've been shaping the future of the River Valley since 1936. Nearly 90 years of excellence, innovation, and family-driven leadership. From sidewalks that still stand today to major infrastructure projects across the region, our legacy is built on quality and community. Apply now at goforsgren.com. Join the Forsgren legacy, where your work becomes part of something lasting. Forsgren, building the foundation of the River Valley for 4 generations. Apply now at goforsgren.com.
The best mornings
In the morning light.
start with Wrangler.
Jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started on the right foot.
My blue jeans on. I put my blue jeans on.
Good mornings make for better days.
Blue jeans on. I put my blue jeans on.
Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
What do you see? The sun is rising, most definitely. A new day's coming. People are changing. Ain't it beautiful? It's the blue persuasion.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
No decision in the Charles Bediako case, at least not yet. I think they're expecting to have something by the end of the day, which is going to detail whether or not, when the Razorbacks play Alabama at Coleman, that they've got a guy that was drafted by an NBA team. And he's pointed out to a couple of to the new judge that is sitting for this trial or the case, not a trial. A couple of Tennessee players, Clarence Masamba and Ethan Berg, have eligibility after playing professional ball in Europe. But there've been players, Matt.
Ole Miss has a guy that played
college
professional
ball that have been
ball
playing professionally in Europe for years. That's not a new thing.
Hey, whatever the judge, that's why you pay those lawyers a lot of money. I agree with you. I think it's a really bad loophole or however you want to do it. It's just it's a weird scenario. And then people say, well, his ability to earn. What are you talking about? His ability to earn? You have to be a certain age, and there has to be a certain protocol that you go through it. Then he has it because he wasn't good enough to play in the NBA, so he gets to come back to college. It's just it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. It's just like, oh, it kind of makes you, it's gross.
They're pointing out for these two players, one of these Tennessee guys played for a team that's professional team in Monaco, another that played in the Israeli professional league. Are we really supposed to act that the Israeli professional league, which I think is a decent international basketball league, is going to be at the same level of playing in the NBA? I mean, that's kind of what I'm hearing here is an insinuation about that. Or, it's like if you signed your contract, but you played G League basketball. I don't know, would G League be the same as that? But to me, it's about, and look, Betty, this is a guy that was made himself eligible for the draft and stayed in the draft with the full knowledge that if you stay past this date, well, then based on our bylaws, you are no longer eligible to play at this level of basketball. Once you've made that decision to stay in the draft, it's different for baseball, but it's not for basketball. And that you've got to have some sort of dividing line. And that was the dividing line until recently. And I guess now the dividing line is whether or not you played in the NBA. But, hey, the NCAA is trying to fight back against this. Greg Sankey's also on their side, which I think is a little good. I'm not saying it's odd. It's just I would bet you the people at Alabama would expect that the commissioner of the league that loves to lean towards Alabama in so many ways might actually back them up. But he didn't because he's on the right side, I think, in that case.
And who knows if he's speaking out of both sides of his mouth. And I have a hard time believing some of these people that get up there because they have their own agenda. It's capitalism at its finest. Do they really care about these kids, or do they care about their pocketbooks? And it's hard. You kind of got to decipher or sift through the words that they use and how they talk and what they're talking about and what they're really trying to push. It's really exhausting. But there's so much money involved, and they're making so much money that I think those people they don't care. But to the fan or to people that want to see the sport and see the purity of it and see how it goes, it's pretty exhausting.
Just imagine if this, if this goes through. And then the Amari Bailey case, that's the kid who played 10 NBA games. And I think I saw he's visiting Grand Canyon University today. I mean, these are all this ends up leading to. And I'm on the side of labor that has been screwed over by, those who control the means. But in this case, I think having some stability and rules that can work for an entire membership has got to stand for something, because there will be zero. It's not a matter of roster stability. It's a matter of eligibility stability. You're not going to have any idea. Basically, everybody's eligible to play college sports. That's what it comes to. Doesn't matter how many years you might have played before. Doesn't matter what level you played before. If you've gone on to play a professional career, everybody's eligible for college sports. The more the merrier, Matt, of course.
It used to be a little more black and white. Now it's everybody gets a trophy. Everybody gets a ribbon. Oh, you hurt my feelings. Oh, we'll change this for you. Okay, do you feel better now? Oh, those rules don't. It's so there's nobody has a backbone anymore. It's really I don't know if it's the signs of what's to come as us as a society or what, but it's really there's a bad taste. It's exhausting. There's not a whole lot of good going on, but they're making so much flipping money that they don't care. I don't think they care about the public as much as they care about how much money they're making.
I know in some cases the whole fight back is you can't limit my ability to use my talents to make.
No, you did that when you entered the NBA. But I didn't do anything.
There's two ways to make a living. You can go make a living as a professional basketball player in the G League
or in Israel
or in absolutely.
That's what we talk about. What I tell you about DJ Wagner, I loved it. He's my favorite player on the team. He's going to be playing ball overseas somewhere. He's not playing in the NBA, but so you want to keep him as long as you can.
Yeah, I don't really view it necessarily as as taking somebody's ability away to make money through being an athlete. It's not letting you stay there as long as you want to stay there. And
didn't J.J. Redick leave a year early from Duke? You think he could come back? I think he left a year early. You have J.J. Redick running up and down the court for the Duke Blue Devils this year?
Why not? I mean, you had up until recently, Doug Gottlieb was hosting a radio show and coaching a team at the same time. You might as well have J.J. Redick coach the Lakers and play for Duke.
Sometimes you think AI was coaching his basketball team because it was one of the AI was either doing his show or coaching the team, because one of those things he's not very good at.
Well, he quit the radio show for now, at least.
So he got some more bad advice.
Well, maybe until the season ends. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Hour number 1 to wrap up on halftime after this.
What has it been like being you as a student this week, particularly yesterday?
No class. I graduated 2 years ago.
This is halftime.
Winter has arrived, bringing frosty mornings, holiday travels, and unpredictable roads. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we've got you covered. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your vehicle for everything winter has in store. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, not when you work with Tara Lindbergh and the Lindbergh Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LindberghTeam.com, LIMBIRD.
A friend is someone who knows where you came from. Someone who always shows up when you need them. Someone who's there for the good times and the challenging ones. With comprehensive insurance policies backed by award-winning customer service, Shelter Insurance is committed to being there when you need us most.
Call Brad Howe in Van Buren or call Ryan Hughes in Fort Smith.
Designed by Jason Christie, the Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait doesn't just bring the fight, it dominates. Choose from 3 blade options: Colorado for maximum thump, Willow for bright flash, and the one the pros won't talk about, the Oklahoma blade. Perfectly balanced for subtle vibration, multiple flash points, and unmatched versatility. The Oklahoma blade is your secret weapon for pressured waters. Precision engineering, tournament proven, and one mission: dominate. Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait, here for one thing.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. Ew, yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
Dozy Place has been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years, and now they're offering smoked prime rib on the weekends. It's a limited supply, so get your reservations in early. Try one of their delicious appetizers or your choice of drinks from the area's largest selection of wine, beer, and liquor. Dozy Place open Tuesday through Thursday 5 to 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Follow them on Facebook for more upcoming features and events. Call 479-784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street in Fort Smith.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wiper? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Looking for a career with a company built to last? At Forsgren, we've been shaping the future of the River Valley since 1936. Nearly 90 years of excellence, innovation, and family-driven leadership. From sidewalks that still stand today to major infrastructure projects across the region, our legacy is built on quality and community. Apply now at goforsgren.com. Join the Forsgren legacy, where your work becomes part of something lasting. Forsgren, building the foundation of the River Valley for 4 generations. Apply now at goforsgren.com.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust.
Pink ribbon off my eyes. I'm exposed, and it's no big surprise. Don't you think I know exactly where I stand? There's more exposed for me to
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Matt Jones, did you see the MVP vote for the NFL?
Oh, your boy Orlovsky, huh? Was that's the conspiracy theory? Him and Stafford have the same agency, so that's why he voted for him. That was the.
So that's the theory, is that Orlovsky voted for Justin Herbert.
He had the last vote. Well, Stafford won it, right?
Stafford won, but he won by 1 vote.
That's what they're saying. It was Dan's
over Drake May.
Yep.
And then Justin Herbert got 1 vote. Josh Allen got 2.
Wow.
It's the closest MVP vote in 22 years, which happens to be the last time I'd missed a game because of illness. These things tend to go together sometimes. How does Justin Herbert get a vote for MVP? How does that happen? And I'm a Herbert fan. Like, I like him. I really like Justin Herbert, but he's not an MVP for like, nobody on the Chargers was going to be an MVP this year. That's kind of a funny vote right there. A really funny vote in the same city that Stafford plays for. I wonder who did. So that's Orlovsky. That'd be interesting.
Justin Herbert. So he was 9th and he played 16 games, 3,700 yards, 26 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. That seems a little heavy. Was sacked 54 times more than everybody above him. There's no Sam Darnold, Drake May, Dax. Here's some names that are ahead of Justin Herbert: Bo Nix, Caleb Williams, Trevor Lawrence, Sam Darnold, Drake May, Dak Prescott, Jared Goff, and Matthew Stafford. They voted for Herbert.
Go figure.
Wow.
Go figure. Yeah. Well, you get that vote, you earn the vote. Good for whoever did it, because they know exactly. I think they knew what they were doing. I mean, look, if May would have gotten that 1 vote, you have co-MVPs. That doesn't happen too often. But I think in this case, it would have been pretty legit.
If May would have won the MVP, there would have been you couldn't have had hardly any arguments about it.
I don't think you can have an argument for Stafford.
That's
either.
what I mean. Stafford, he deserved it. 46 touchdowns, 8 interceptions for him. Drake May had 15 less touchdowns and the same amount of interceptions.
Has there ever been a co-MVP in the NFL? 97 and 2003. There you go. Peyton Manning and Steve McNair shared the award in 03. Favre and Barry Sanders in 97. I only know it happening once in baseball history. It was the NL in 1979. Keith Hernandez and Willie Stargell both shared the award. That's rare. But I think in this case it would have worked. I think with Stafford and May, you could make a great case for either of them. I don't think you're wrong by not voting for one or the other, but I think it would have worked out if they'd have been tied. All of a sudden right there, I just realized I just threw away what could have been a pretty good Fish City trivia question today.
Keith Hernandez, I mean, you played the worst position on the game. I mean, whenever I played baseball, they always put me at first base as well.
I just tell you, pay attention to the third base coach because I don't think he's waving you home.
I plan on rounding home of somewhere around midnight. Rounding third somewhere around midnight. We'd look at.
Still has an all-star mustache too.
Oh, that's first ballot. That's the first ballot mustache.
877-377-6963 to get with us on our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. In hour number 2, we'll talk a little more baseball with James Teague, former Arkansas pitcher and a member of the Teague Law Firm. That's coming up at 12:15. Wide open for you and anything else you want to get to. And then what the heck is going on with ski jumping in the Olympics? Wow. You got to have extra space down by the crotchal region, apparently, to fly a little farther. We'll get into that, too, in hour number 2. Halftime is back after this.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric, and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola. Here's NASCAR Hall of Famer Mark Martin.
As a race car driver for 40 years, I survived a lot of crashes. Not everyone can run into a wall at 200 miles an hour and walk away. Without a seatbelt, I wouldn't be alive today. Now I'm retired, back home in Arkansas driving my pickup. I'm shocked how many people aren't wearing seatbelts. Why risk your life when it only takes 2 seconds to buckle up? Take it from number 6. Buckle up, Arkansas.
A message from the Arkansas State Police Highway Safety Office.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
DraftKings Sportsbook is making every snap, every drive, every moment of Super Bowl 60 count with DraftKings Live Millions. Open the app, opt in, and get your promo token. Place a live bet of $1 or more on the Super Bowl, and you're in. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code UNSPORTSMANLIKE. That's code UNSPORTSMANLIKE. Bet live for your share of $5 million in prizes with code UNSPORTSMANLIKE. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 and over in most states. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. No purchase necessary. Opt-in required. Minimum odds minus 500. Prizes either bonus bets or single-use 20% profit boost. Max bet $20 that expire in 30 days. See official rules at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos for entry period and free method of entry. Sponsored by Crown Gaming, Inc.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of blue sky, lots of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon, low 60s north, low 70s south. Mainly clear sky tonight, overnight low upper 20s north, mid 30s south. And then Saturday, lots of blue sky and sunshine, a high in the low to mid 50s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for wine, specialty beers, and liquor, located at 12100 Highway 71 South in Fort Smith. KERX Paris, Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that would respect it.
Live from the Busch Lights Studio.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
You said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Name of one Razorback is vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man.
Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
And welcome back into halftime. We continue at 12:01 here on a Friday now afternoon. This is ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Olsen along with Matt Jones. Christian Johnston producing, talking with James Teague, former Arkansas pitcher and part of the Teague Law Firm in 15 minutes. So anything you want to get with us, now is the time. And how about a final score from the first game for softball? Because they got a doubleheader today in Conway, South Carolina, against Virginia and Akron. What do you got on a 17-1 win to open up the season? How about that over Virginia? Pretty good. A 10-run first inning, which included 9 consecutive batters reaching base safely after 2 outs. It's a nice way to start. Courtney's team's got a little 2-out lightning in them. When your first inning, you score, they scored 10 runs with 2 outs. That's a team that can put a little something together when you're not expecting it. Way to go.
Yeah, Woo Pig Suey. Let's go, Ladybacks.
That is good stuff. Baseball be in action tomorrow, a week from today, against Oklahoma State. Basketball in action tomorrow at 11 o'clock in the morning. And Matt, I gotta hit on you with this deal with Olympic ski jumping. Have you read about this at all?
No, I haven't, but I'll check it out.
It's craziness. Apparently, there's a controversy, a scandal involving a couple of the European ski jumping teams. I think I was reading about Norway.
Ooh, their old lady's in trouble too, being on the Epstein files. You see that? Their crown princess.
Everything.
Yeah, it's not good in Norway right now.
So I don't know much about ski jumping, but just reading about this controversy, I'll just give a little bit of information about what the male ski jumpers' outfits have to be. Male ski jumpers must wear tight-fitting suits no more than 4 centimeters larger than their body measurements at any point. So it's form-fitting, literally form-fitting, but it's up against the body measurements. So it's what your body measures at every point, and I guess they'll figure it out at every point. Your knee, your elbows, crook of your arm, 4 centimeters off of your body measurements at any point. So then you get this piece of information that adding a centimeter of fabric to the crotch increases flight distance by more than 9 feet. So then theoretically here, the larger your junk, the more fabric you have. The more fabric you have, the farther you jump. So you end up with male skiers injecting their junk with hyaluronic acid to make it bigger so that they're allowed to have more fabric on the crotch of their form-fit pants. Pants isn't the right word. This is the craziest thing I've ever heard. Outside of the fish tournament, the fishing tournaments, where where the fishermen were loading their fish with weights. It's as prime cheating as you've ever heard about before. And this is right now the number one thing going on in the Olympics at this moment.
Man, can't trust anybody these days. We just throw them a jock on and a helmet and say, let's go. Like, if that's how we're going to do it, didn't they used to in the Olympics, you had to compete in the nude, throw a jock strap on and then let's go. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's like, if you're going to be cheating, like, it's just, golly,
it's amazing.
Everything, man. Nobody has any integrity or any moral standards, or it's just like, oh, just go. Nobody cares. Just everybody's doing it. It really is, man. The world's a crazy place.
But it's amazing. It's like, I mean, is this the kind of thing that might have been happening years ago where nobody would have thought to check about it? You know, we're injecting.
Yeah, this isn't the first year it's happened.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't know if it was cheating or whatever, but it was swimming. I mean, it was like a whole idea of some of the fabric, some of the material that the swimsuit companies were using. You going a lot faster than what some of the other fabric is that another nation might be using. That the swimsuits ended up having a lot to do with why someone might go a little bit faster than somebody else. It's not necessarily their own talent. In this case, well, I know talent might be, a phrase you might use for something needing more fabric on your crotch, I guess. But man, that is just the most. I've heard so many different ways to cheat. I mean, in the sport that I cover the most, you can scuff up a baseball about 18,000 different ways, whether just with your nails or with a diamond ring or your belt buckle or whatever. I mean, think of all the ways that guys have doctored a bat and then figure out a way to find out what the pitcher's about to throw. And here we are. It's just very simple. Just add a centimeter of fabric, and you're jumping more than 9 feet farther than you did. So, yeah, size definitely does matter. And then, well, here's a good idea, Scott. I don't know what it's like to use this stuff, but he asked, couldn't you just pop a Viagra? I mean, that might do the same thing.
Well, I don't think you can be full staff while they're measuring your suit, huh? Like,
yeah, I don't want to be measuring anybody's body.
I don't. That's weird. That's a different sport, I think.
Then again, I mean, we did speak yesterday about in the NFL and your drug tests, they're literally watching.
They do everything but shake it. They there's everything but the shaking going on. That's for sure.
Glenn in Hot Springs is here. Hey, Glenn, thanks for calling our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. What's going on?
Oh, nothing. I was just calling also to, mention the fact that the halftime performer can't even sing in English. Kind of, doesn't help the whole thing, I don't think.
Okay. I mean, I think he does speak English, but.
Well, man, he doesn't sing in English. No, he can speak some English because he, But I know he told people, they interviewed him and they asked him about people were aggravated his songs were in English, and then he came out and told everybody they had 3 months to learn Spanish. So I think there's a lot of people that are not paying attention because of that. A few, anyway, maybe. That's it.
I think people would have made up their minds, though, whether or not they were going to listen to Bad Bunny just based on what some other people said about it, truthfully. I don't know any of Bad Bunny's songs. I couldn't care less whether he's singing in English or Spanish or whatever. It's not really bothering me all that much.
Yeah, well, it bothers.
Well, I mean, then there's another show for you to watch, Glenn. I mean, that's why TPUSA has made another show. If you don't want to watch that halftime show, you don't have to watch it. It's okay. And I'm not going to have, an opinion about you one way or another either. It's, some people will watch something else on television. Some people will watch the NFL halftime show, and
hey,
I don't care what anybody watches, truthfully.
My theory on music is amazing. It really is, but it's your music. You have to listen to it. I don't care. I don't care what music you like or don't like. I like the music I like. I don't know a single Bad Bunny song. Don't know a single Morgan Wallen song. Isn't he on the other one? Like, I don't know. You listen to what you like. And don't be the morality police. You don't watch the show. Just put it on mute. Go take a walk and then come back and let's watch some football.
I just think it's one more thing to be told to be up in arms and angry about. I just don't think it's really all that interesting. Here's Charlie the Tuna. Yeah, watch what you want to watch, man. I mean, watch Kid Rock or watch Bad Bunny or go outside and throw a football with your
press
son.
mute.
I don't care. Hi, Charlie. How are you?
Are the Viagra
Guys,
Boys going to play?
No, oh my God.
They're in the ski competition, it seems like now.
You-
They're
you
getting
know-
their snowsuits measured right so they can win.
You know what's funny is I called right in when you guys were mentioning that word, and the unit answered right on cue. Yeah, man. Look, I agree with you guys. Look, all these people are talented. You listen to what you want to listen to, but you can't knock the talent. I mean, I don't, because he in Spanish. What are he doing? What are we talking about here? It's like I've heard people say, "Oh, I'm not going to go to this comedy show because they might blah blah blah," or when I do go, I'm going to act a fool because they're talking about me or whatever. I'm like, dude, you went to a comedy show. What do you expect? It's just hilarious to me. Some of the things that we complain about. Anyway, Phil, you are. How do you feel? How are you feeling? You sounded a little. I don't know. You sound a little better, but are you really tired still?
Yeah,
Are you?
I'm still dragging, but I'm here. It's okay, Charlie. Thanks for asking.
You're a trooper, man. You are a trooper. I respect it. There's no way in the world that I could do it. So I respect it. I was wondering, as we get closer here, I know basketball's still going on, but I tell you, Phil, the Gills are starting to turn a little bit for some baseball. Last year, I ain't going to lie, it took me some time to get over last year because I felt like that was the team that not only talent-wise had it, but it just felt like it was there for them, and they had it together. And if somebody was going to do it, it was last year's team. But we all know going into this year, we're going to still have a really good team. And I just hope as we continue to, I guess, knock on that door, get back to Omaha is the first step in that. And I understand you got a lot of games before that. I get all that. Man, I want it so much for Coach Van Horn and this program because they've been one of the more successful programs ever. And it sucked that we haven't been able to get over that hump. But, man, what they've done, the players that they put in the league, the talent, it's just insane. Parker Coyle, so that's why he didn't pitch last year. I heard that in the tournament. I didn't know he was banged up. So that's good that we got him back. I'm excited. I don't know as much about this team yet. I gotta dive into it. Oh yeah, before I go, Phil, what are they trying to do with Cahillo? Where are they thinking they're going to play him as far as position wise? And then tomorrow, big game. Let's go take care of business. And man, I know it's going to be hard. It's a road game. Got to find a way. Need to win this game. Anyways, y'all have a good one.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to, the way that last season ended, and obviously that was a great baseball team last year, and you can't. It's going to be unfortunate to hold any of those teams that are coming up in the near future to last year's standard, without really knowing whether or not right now whether they will get that far. But I think the talent might be there to at least achieve something akin to what happened last year. But I've been able to see them in action enough. But that was a really special team last year, and you could kind of tell. You could kind of tell early on that there was something about them. So who knows? This coaching staff has such a great eye for talent. I think we'll pick it up. We'll pick it up pretty early, whether or not. And for Cahillo, it's got to be right field. It has to be right field, and for him, it has to be right field because there aren't any full-time DHs that get drafted and really go on to have long careers, after college. You can be a DH in college, but you got to be something else to I think continue to move on. And for Cahillo, it's going to be right field. Didn't really look like first base was the thing for him when he had a chance a little bit last year. There's no doubt he's got the arm for right field. But I think the footwork is going to be the thing to watch. When he gets going, he can run a little bit. I wouldn't put him at the same, athleticism as his brother Kahio. Kahio played shortstop and was a terrific shortstop. But I think Kahio could be a serviceable right fielder to a good right fielder, but it's still learning the position at the same time. 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Look, I'm going to watch the Bad Bunny halftime show because I've usually watched the NFL halftime show. And it's just because that's what's on at that moment. And opinion, look, there's how many people speak Spanish in this country?
Where is the game too? It's in California, right? Heavy Spanish speaking population there, huh?
And a person who is from the United States and from Puerto Rico, where Spanish is the number one language. So I don't know. We've had Miami Sound Machine, I think, perform at the Super Bowl before. Ricky Martin before. They sing in Spanish, maybe not 100% in Spanish, but if you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. That's the whole idea of that thing called the remote control. In just a moment, we're going to have James Teague join us from the Teague Law Firm and talk some baseball. This is halftime.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust. Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu has so much Lutz, it's starting to go to people's heads. I'm the Lutziers.
Which is the mini taco salad fork?
Here to help them cope. So when you try the mini taco salad, beefy potato loaded griller, or chips and nacho supreme dip, enjoy the Lutz. Just don't let it go to your head.
Yeah, bring the car around.
You know there's no valet.
Then who's getting the car?
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years, and it's just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
There's nothing better than hitting a bet unless your whole crew hits it with you. That's what MyBookie's all about. Are you ready for the next 2 weeks of the NFL? We're hooking you up with 2 can't-lose locks of season. Bet up to $10 per lock and double your money when they hit. Select the lock of season tab in the sportsbook. Wager up to $10 per lock. Double your money on 4 bets that can't lose. Don't forget about the Bet Back bonus. Go to MyBookie now, punch in code HOGS, and get your first bet covered up to $500. If you don't hit on the first bet, just use your Bet Back bonus token and run it back. Must opt in to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. Ew, yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they love the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
And everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
All right, I'm sending a text to James Teague to tell him to call our phone lines because apparently the phones are not working again. Just another day. I would give the phone number, but I don't know if I want to do something that makes no sense to do at the moment. But at the moment, I will at least tell you that James Teague is a former Arkansas pitcher and a member of the Teague Law Firm, and he's going to be joining us as long as the phones work for a 4th season on Halftime. Either that or he's going to have to show up in studio and just do it with me at the ballpark every once in a while. Enjoyed having James on the last 3 years. So I don't know. We might have to drive all the way down to the studios to do the segment. By then, we might be off the show. So
I don't know. It's kind of our new thing, right? It's kind of the. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but it's kind of our new thing.
We can get the broken phone sponsored. And we get the working phone sponsored by Lewis Automotive. We get the broken phone sponsored by, I don't know, a broken phone company. MCI? Have anybody heard from MCI?
Is Sprint still around?
MediaCom around anywhere?
Alltel?
Anybody? Yeah. There's still a little bit of Alltel.
AOL dial-up?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Anyway, we'll get into some other stuff since I guess we can't do our sponsored segment.
He's efforting.
If you insist.
My favorite radio word.
If you tell me we're going to get him on, Christian, then I'll believe you until I'm proven otherwise. All right, let's see. You want some thoughts on the baseball team? These were some things I was going to ask. James about power on this team. I do think I see potentially 8 players that could hit 10 or more home runs. I think last year, I opened up my stats from last season. So they set the record with 127, and you had 7 players with 10 or more home runs. This is a group that could have. I'm not going to tell you they're going to set the record for home runs for the team for the school, but I'm going to tell you they got some power. I think on this ball club. Micah New, we talked about him a lot yesterday. New's got, I think, 15 to 20 home run capability. So does Kahia Waloy. Zach Stewart, who came in from Missouri State, he's already had a season with 21 home runs. That was 2 years ago. Reese Robinette, now that could be the question if he could get into double figures, but the power is there. Nolan Souza, stay healthy, continue to show improvement on pitch recognition that he showed last year. Double-digit home runs, no doubt. TJ Pompey, healthy, double-digit home runs. Ryder Helfrich's already done it, finished with 15 last year. That's 8 guys. That's 8 players And all of them, every single one of them will be in that lineup every day, with the exception potentially of Stewart, who's one of the older players on the team. Fourth-year guy, right field, DH, left-hander. He's hit a home run or two at Baum Walker already. And so, look, this. Nobody expected to see 127 home runs last year. Nobody did. You ended up getting 127 home runs, and I think you're going to get some home runs from this team this year as well. Now, I know a lot of folks are saying, well, what about contact? What about stroking line drives up the middle? I think this is also a gap-to-gap team. Look, they look to hit it high and hit it hard, but I think this is a team that can hit a lot of liners into gaps. There's going to be guys getting up all over the fence. All right, James is here. Hi, James. Thanks for the effort getting on our phones. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing? No problem.
Good. Glad you were able to get on with us today, man. Yeah, we got James Teague with us for another year from the Teague Law Firm. James fired up about this baseball season. The team is scrimmaging today, and of course, I don't know how much they've been able to be outdoors up until this week. But I was just talking about power for the team, and it looks to me like there's a lot of potential power here. I think in terms of home runs, and you always know you got power arms on this club too.
Yeah, to me, looking through the roster and reading the reports and talking to DVH a little bit at the dinner this week, it looks like it's a team that's just going to have to find their stride. Maybe a team that plays off power or plays off speed, but it's not necessarily, super glaring on the front end of what they will be, but, time will tell.
Yeah. You think the coaches have a sense of what they have? You don't, even with an early start to practice, they were able to get on the field earlier than usual. And you need that in this day and age. You probably needed it when you were pitching too. You would have liked at least another couple of weeks, but when you basically have a new team every fall, and that's what it's been like for Arkansas, and then, you make your cuts and you got your team in January, having that extra time is just massive. I just still wonder, because everything's so new, the coaches can tell you what they think of the team, but nobody's really sure until you watch them go up against other teams.
Yeah, there's just going to be that trial and error period where you got to flesh everything out. I think like we've seen, I think what they do know is that there's a formula, which is we're going to have some of the returners produced with Helfrich, with some of the other guys. We need some freshmen, some young guys to produce, and then we're going to fill in the gaps with the transfer portal. I think that's the formula. Now, who fits into that formula, I don't think is as important as whether you just find enough pieces to match, that style of play.
Yeah, but having Helfrich is just so big, isn't it? I mean, if you didn't know anything else about this team, but you knew you had Ryder Helfrich as a third-year catcher, you'd at least have a sense that's a team that could potentially go a long way.
Well, especially usually when you're looking at good catchers, you're like, well, he's probably going to be an out in the lineup, but if he can catch, if he can control the bullpen, he can control the arms, that's a fair trade-off. So when you find a guy who, can produce offensively and can produce for power, but can also, he can block, he can frame, he can control, what is a new staff and a partially returning staff. You just don't find guys that often, so I think they'll rely on him quite a bit.
Yeah, they're going to rely on Gabe Gackle. You and I have talked about this quite a bit because you started and you pitched in relief as well. I asked Matt Hobbs this yesterday, and his answer was, we just need him to be good in whatever role, but they want him as a starter. I'll ask you, does Arkansas need Gabe Gackle to be the starting pitcher that, we all think he can be, or is it okay if he's pitching in relief?
I think they need him to start. I mean, for him to really evolve into, I think, what his talent is and what he can be, that's a premier starter in the SEC. Obviously, in my opinion, the winning formula is you need to have starting pitchers that can consistently give you some depth. And if your Friday guy can give you depth and you can save some of your bullpen, that just opens up your whole weekend. And so I think just going into a weekend series to have a reliable Friday guy that can give you some depth, that's going to keep you in the game, who's not going to be maybe lights out or out in the first inning, but a guy you can rely on. I think that's kind of the anchor that he needs to be in the staff for us to, go as far as we can.
I think starting pitching looks like it can always be a strength, but I really do like Gackle, Dietz, and whomever it is they throw after that, because but it's all homegrown pitchers too, which I don't know. You can take that a little bit of a point of pride because of how the transfer portal has become so dominant, and even in baseball right now. But you do find that pitchers want to come pitch for Matt, and then when they're there, they usually stay here.
Yeah, I used to be weary of the homegrown guys because you start to wonder, are they really that good, or they just happen to get on the team because they're homegrown? But whenever they actually pan out, it works for everybody.
Well, when I say homegrown, I mean recruited by Arkansas and start their career. I don't mean just Arkansans. I mean, guys that come through the program as freshmen and finish their careers at Arkansas. And Gackle is one of those guys. Yeah. Dietz is that. I mean, that's what most of this pitching staff is.
And I think a big part of that too is when you have guys that you brought into the program from freshmen, and then they've learned the program and they've gotten better each year. It's a little bit less transactional in the modern transfer portal era, to where I think it's a little easier to build a culture to where even maybe if you don't have the talent or you don't have the big money, guys out of the portal, you have culture, you have guys who have played together, and you have guys who are really bought into what the team's trying to do. And sometimes that wins better than just pure talent.
Does the game feel older to you? I think this looks to me like maybe a little bit of an older team that we've had before. Looking at college football, Indiana was one of the oldest, if not the oldest team in the sport. They won the national championship. How do you think that plays in terms of baseball and what the portal has done? And also not just the portal, James, but there are fewer jobs for professional players, so guys stay in college longer, and it's just an older sport now.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably going to be a few less guys who, are nervous throwing up in the locker room, who go, walk the first three guys and get pulled. The young guys, you're always going to have a couple of those. But I think sometimes you can just bypass some of those early morning jitters when you got a team that's a little bit older, and you can more quickly get to where you need to be with the lineup, because you kind of know what you're going to get. You don't have to work out all those early season kinks and nerves quite as much, say, when you got freshmen or a bunch of guys who don't have any experience.
Love going into Globe Life. This is a home ballpark for them. Have you been to a game? Have you been to any of the games that they've played at Globe Life? And
I have not.
You got to get there, man. It's such a
great
ballpark.
I know. I'm embarrassed to say it. I haven't been down there. I keep running into other attorneys and other guys like, man, you going down? I'm just like, I got a lot of work, a lot of kids, a lot of stuff to do. I'm gonna stay home.
Yeah. How's the family doing right now, man? Everything's growing, right?
Oh yeah, we've been battling a little bit what you've got with this flu. I think everyone and their dog got the flu over the holidays, and so sounds like you're on the other side of it, maybe.
Well, I don't know if I sound just like it. I might feel a little bit better, but that's for sure. You get a little bit farther away from your baseball career, James. Does it? How when you show up at games, do you still feel like you could get out there? I mean, it hasn't really been that long. When's the last pitch you threw? Like an actual competitive pitch?
The last actual competitive pitch I threw to a guy named Bobby Dahlbeck, and he hit it off the left field wall at about 120 miles an hour, and I got pulled, and so that's my last competitive pitch. So I can feel real good about that one.
Well, how long ago was that?
But that would have been 2018. So quite a long ways, but no, I don't miss it. I mean, I think families, they get older, and you kind of realize you have different seasons in your life, and some seasons are, you got to pass the torch. You got to let the young guys take over. You got to let the talented people, have their shot at it. And, I think that's what's really exciting coming into a season, is seeing all of the different storylines evolve and develop, and seeing guys grow up in the big moments, and seeing guys overcome adversity that maybe struggled in the year, and then collectively putting all that together. And is it enough at the end? It was so close to being enough last year. It was kind of a storybook finish in the making that ended in, tragedy, if we're dramatizing it. But we have another chance. The season rolls over, and you have new storylines, new guys, new players, and what can we do? It's a fresh start. I'm excited.
James, I think the last time New England and Seattle played in the Super Bowl, it ended in tragedy for Seattle. Will you be watching Sunday? And who do you got in this one?
Yeah, I saw a funny picture. It was like, this is the most auraless QB matchup of all time. Just with the two kind of just bland. I mean, obviously super talented, but then I think the storyline is really kind of the repeat from that insane interception that we saw, I don't know how many years ago, but I got the Patriots pulling it off. I know the Seahawks defense is pretty legit, but I'm going to go Patriots.
That's where I was earlier in the week. I might be changing that up a little bit, but we'll see.
Oh, you're changing? Why you?
We had the flu bug. He's got reasons why.
I haven't been thinking straight all week long, James. That's pretty much what it comes down to.
Yeah, that happens. I've seen that. People get the flu, they start acting funny.
Well, we always love having. We'll have James with us every Friday throughout the baseball season. That counts next week as well. I'll be at Globe Life Field as we get set for opening day with Oklahoma State, and of course, the Teague Law Firm is that go-to reliever that can help with criminal law, such as traffic offenses, DWIs, and more. Nearly 30 years of experience, and they can help you every step of the way. James, what's important right now for you at the Teague Law Firm?
We're plugging away. I'm still controlling a lot of the family law, a lot of the domestic relations docket, including adoption, child custody, divorce, paternity. And really kind of finding my groove in that avenue. People come in and they say, how much time you got? And I can sift through it pretty quickly and say, here's what we need to do. Here's the plan. Here's what I can offer you. And really kind of solidifying the approach, the tactics, the strategies, the cases, the statutes that are relevant, and just building on, every year on that base. And so, we'll continue to do that, and me and Robert, I think we're a good team. We have a lot of collaboration going on, and so, like we always say, come talk to us. If we can't help you, we'll talk baseball.
That's exactly what they'll do, and you always talk to actual lawyers. They will call you back, 479-877-1688, and check out their new office, 4201 West New Hope Road in Rogers, and online at teague-law.com. James, appreciate you, man. We'll visit again next week. Thank you very much. Stay with us. We're back with more halftime right after this.
I think the 8.5-point spread's a setup.
This is halftime.
At the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. Bet Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
He hit it over the video board. It's swimming with the fishes.
This is halftime.
Got a pest? Call West. If you have pest or termite problems in your home, call West today and learn how their 50 years combined experience can help solve your problems with competitive pricing and quality services, all designed with your pets and children in mind. Call today and schedule your free estimate. They even offer Saturday services and long life attic pest control. Call 782-7291. West Termite and Pest Control, protecting your home health and peace of mind.
Dental emergencies do not wait, and neither should you. At Valley Urgent Dental, they're here for you on the weekends, whether it's a broken tooth, a painful infection, or a crown that's come loose. Dr. Kendall Roberts and Dr. Doug Terry are ready to help. Why wait till Monday? Call 479-235-5655 now. Valley Urgent Dental is located at 5505 Uper Lane behind Golden Corral in Fort Smith. Valley Urgent Dental, emergency dental care when you need it most.
Flu vaccines, both regular and high dose for seniors, are now available at Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith. Call 452-6116 to schedule your shot appointment. Usually there is no cost when covered by your insurance. Law's Drug has COVID vaccines, RSV vaccines for ages 60 plus. Pneumonia and tetanus shots are also available. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Wave Rural Connect has some exciting news. Our service is now available in a brand new zone covering parts of Midland and Montreal. If you're along Highway 45, 252 or 253, or on Douglas Road or Slaytonville Road, you can get fast, reliable fiber internet today. Don't miss out. Visit waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Wave Rural Connect. Internet that works when you need it most.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text AREA to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text AREA to 42424. That's AREA to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust. Now let's get back to halftime with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Arkansas football legend Matt Jones.
All right, a Fish City Grill trivia question for a Friday for everybody today. We'll do this through the text line, 877-377-6963. You realize the difference in success for championships in the two cities that are in the Super Bowl? I don't know how many championships Boston has won.
Seattle just heartbreaked everybody, right? Just this year in the baseball playoffs.
They're heartbroken in the ALCS. That's right. That's exactly right. They had their NBA heartbroken a long time back. Boston's got. I mean, look at how many championships do the Celtics have? The Pats are going for number 7. The Red Sox just 3 world championships in our lifetimes, but that happened all pretty rapidly once they started getting it going in 2004. The Bruins, they've got a championship in my lifetime too. Boston fans, they've been pretty spoiled. Seattle fans, not so much. The Fish City trivia question today is, how many major sports championships has the city of Seattle won? And when I say major, I'm talking about the following leagues: NFL, NBA, NHL, MLS, Major League Baseball. So it's those 5 leagues. How many major sports championships has the city of Seattle won? 877-377-6963. It's for Major League Baseball, MLS, NHL, NBA, and the NFL. Got great specials at Fish City Grill in Rogers up until the 17th. Limited time offers: Snapper Veracruz with cilantro lime rice or grilled lobster tail with pasta. For dessert, they've got the chocolate brownie a la mode topped with vanilla ice cream. It's even gluten-free. And they've got Mardi Gras coming Tuesday, February 17th. You're not going to want to miss that party with live music, beads, Cajun decor, plus food and drink specials. And that's all at Fish City Grill, South Bellevue Road in Rogers. Friendly folks and serious seafood. All right, we have our first correct answer coming in here. I was going to, maybe you needed to tell me the actual championships that they've won. Keep them coming in here. See if you can tell me the championships that they've won, because you could just kind of throw a number out there and have a guess, and nobody actually told me any of the information here. Give me not just the number of titles, but which ones they've won. NFL, NBA, NHL, MLS, Major League Baseball. Because anybody can just throw a number out there and you get it right. I'm going to make you work for it at least a little bit. I need a little more information than just the number. I need the league championships that they won, not the year. You don't have to tell me the team name, but I need the league championships. NFL, NBA, NHL, MLS, Major League Baseball. And Matt, I almost didn't include MLS because I don't. In the United States, it's the major soccer league, but in the world, we're not ranking MLS all that high, right?
The Seattle Sounders. Yeah, I don't watch any of them. That's not.
No, he does not watch any of that. So we'll anybody that gets the right answer and the number's not enough, I got to have the actual championships, the league championships that they won. 877-377-6963 for that correct answer, or the wrong answer, and I won't answer the wrong answers, just the right ones. So we'll come back in a moment and wrap up hour number 2. Stay with us.
And I would take great pride to go to the Rock, sir, and to lead the Hawk Call and to get this fan base, because I'm getting my bells ready. I'm going to bring the whistle.
This is halftime.
This is Chuck Fawcett with Chuck Fawcett Realty. When I have an HVAC problem or a plumbing problem, I call 782-8940. That's 782-8940. Blaylock Heating and Air.
So to have a red truck rolling your way today, give us a call. That's Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning for all of your heating, cooling, plumbing, and drain cleaning needs, and great York Home products. It's just one number you need to know. That's 782-8940.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, not when you work with Tara Lindbergh and the Lindbergh Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LindberghTeam.com, LIMBIRD.
The Greater Fort Smith Association of Home Builders presents the Home Show 2026, coming to the Fort Smith Convention Center February 20th through 22nd. Discover the latest in home ideas with live demonstrations, exciting giveaways, and something for everyone. Bring the kids for a bounce house area, a hands-on kids workshop, a Lego building contest, and see the Guinness Book of World Records largest brick. Don't miss the Home Show 2026. Fun, family, and inspiration all under one roof. FortSmithHomebuilders.com.
10 years ago, True Grit Running Company opened its doors with one simple goal: to help people move better, feel stronger, and find their stride. Today, we're celebrating 10 years of True Grit. Join us all year long for anniversary events, group runs, limited edition gear, and plenty of surprises as we kick off 2026. Whether you're chasing a finish line or just starting your journey, thank you for being part of our story. True Grit Running Company, 10 years strong, built by runners.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-885-5151. That's 800-885-5151. Again, that's 800-885-5151.
When it's time to stock the bar, fill the cooler, or grab the perfect bottle, stop by River Point Wine and Spirits. You'll love our clean, organized store, full of all the best liquor, wine, and beer at the right price. At River Point, we're a family-owned business where customer service is always our priority. So come stock up for game night, date night, or the weekend ahead. Your journey, our spirit. River Point Wine and Spirits, Grand Avenue and I-540.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Take me out tonight, where the music and the speakers singing was live. Driving in your car, I never want to go home, because I haven't got one anymore.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Congratulations, Jordan and the 479 had the correct answer for our Fish City trivia question and also had the correct information to go along with the answer. How many major sports championships has Seattle won in NFL, NBA, NHL, MLS, and Major League Baseball? And when I talk NHL, it's Stanley Cup. They have five championships, and even though the Kraken have not won a Stanley Cup, the 1917 Seattle Metropolitans won the Stanley Cup. 1979 Supersonics, Super Bowl 58, and the 2016 and 2019 Seattle Sounders. Those are the Seattle championships, and then they came awfully close in Super Bowl 59, Matt, but of course, I think Russell Wilson had some other ideas.
Well, hey, your Pittsburgh Steelers got the Seattle Sea Chickens in the Super Bowl. Yeah,
they did. That was actually that was one where you could have said the officials had a lot to do with it. Even all these years later, I'll give some of the Seattle fans that. There might have been a phantom holding penalty. Still dubious whether or not Roethlisberger actually crossed the goal line when he dove for it. Oh, speaking of Roethlisberger, Matt, he's eligible for the Hall of Fame next year, along with Adrian Peterson, Rob Gronkowski, Richard Sherman, Alex Mack, Eric Weddle, Antonio Brown, Cam Newton, Andrew Whitworth, and Joe Hayden. It's a pretty good list of first-timers. How many of those guys, and really, there's five that'll get in this year, Vinatieri, Breeze, Larry Fitz, Roger Craig, Luke Kuechly. How many of those that I just listed will get in on the first ballot? Adrian Peterson gets in on the first ballot, doesn't he?
You know, I think Adrian Peterson would be in there on the first ballot. You said Luke Kuechly, the linebacker.
Kuechly's in. He got in this year. And he's got to be one of the youngest Hall of Famers ever. He's 34.
He should be in there. I think Gronk should be in there. Big Ben. You know, I wonder if they do anything with the off the field stuff with Big Ben, but if just you're looking at his play on the fields, yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. You know, no question about it.
I don't know about first ballot.
Yeah,
though.
I don't know about first ballot, but Adrian Peterson. Will you say those names again?
These are the first time candidates for next year in Canton: Adrian Peterson, Gronk, Roethlisberger, Richard Sherman, Alex Mack, Eric Weddle, Antonio Brown, Cam Newton, Andrew Whitworth, Joe Hayden.
Andrew Whitworth. I was in Cincinnati with him for like my cup of coffee when I went. He was in his prime there, and
Did he retire after the Rams championship?
Yep. Yeah, after they won. But he's a good dude. He was a good dude, but talented. Yeah, Richard Sherman. I think he was a product of his environment. Is based on he had two of the best safeties Earl Thomas was the leader of that. Was it Cam Wagner? Was that the other guy? They had
Chancellor.
Cam Chancellor. Yeah, Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor, in my opinion, are both better football players than Richard Sherman. But that doesn't mean Richard Sherman's not good. It's just he got helped out because he had really good players around him. So I don't know about Antonio Brown. If he wasn't such a head case, 100% he's a Hall of Famer. There was a time where he was the best receiver in the NFL for a couple years.
It's kind of that the deal with Sherman would be like L.C. Greenwood, on that steel defense, the great steel curtain defense, and he may be one of the only guys who doesn't get in. He was passed over again here, but all those other great players around him. Just I would wonder if there'd be more than two of the Seattle guys. Then again, they only won the one Super Bowl, not four, like Pittsburgh did. And I'm glad Roger Craig got in. See, Craig and Kuechly had shorter careers. Like how long did Kuechly actually
9 years,
play?
I think.
So Roger Craig played 11 years, and I mean, he was the first. It's got to stand for something to be the first player ever to receive and rush for 1,000 yards.
Marshall Faulk, he's that type of a guy that changed the game. Roger Craig would be better in today's game than he was then, and he was a beast. He's Hall of Famer. But like in today's, he was one of the first. Even 30 years ago, if you didn't have hands, they put you at running back or they put you at cornerback. You didn't. And now it's almost a prereq. If you can't catch the ball out of the backfield, I can't play you at running back.
We'll have hour number 3 of halftime in a moment, and the Lewis Automotive Group hotline open at 877-377-6963. Crabtree RV Center in Alma. We've been doing it for the last 75 years across our listening audience. You're going to get the best RV purchasing experience. They have top-of-the-line parts and service department on site. It's where I-40 and I-49 come together in Alma and online at crabtreerv.com. And we are back in a moment.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. and she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for two for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What'd you call me?
A meal for two for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, plenty of blue sky, lots of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon, low 60s north, low 70s south. Mainly clear sky tonight, and overnight low upper 20s north, mid 30s south. And then Saturday, lots of blue sky and sunshine, a high in the low to mid 50s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for wine, specialty beers, and liquor, located at 12100 Highway 71 South in Fort Smith. KERX Paris, Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Even one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man.
Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
All right, we're into 1:01 in the afternoon. We are almost to the end of what has been some week. Welcome back in. Halftime continues on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. I don't think I sound like me. I am Phil Elson. That is Matt Jones. Kristen Johnson's in the studio. Do I sound like me, Matt, at all?
You have steadily gotten your voice back, it seems like, as the shows went on. I think you sound great. And it's been Jordan had a flu game. You've had a flu week. So
I don't know how he did it. Did he really? Was it real flu? Was it stomach flu?
They said he was at the card tables and the cigar smoke all night till 4 a.m. So, but yeah, the flu, cigar smoke, whatever you want to say.
Whatever you want to call it, right. It's just, there is no such thing as a 24-hour flu bug.
He still dropped 37 on him,
yeah. Yeah, that's right. But that's not the famous shrug of the shoulders. Like, I don't know why it keeps going in. That was against the Lakers, right? Or was that the flu game?
That was the against the Jazz with Jordan.
Okay, that's what I got to do. It's like by the end of the week, I'm going to do one of those the Jordan shoulder shrug. I don't know how.
Oh, that's against the shrugs was against the Trailblazers when he hit the 6 threes in the first half.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that was the shrug.
It's like, I don't know why it keeps going in. I thought that was early in the dynasty. For
it was when they beat the Trailblazers, second championship. Lakers were the first one in the first three-peat.
See, Hogball says it's a food poisoning game, not flu. But nobody calls it a food poisoning game. They call we had Joe Healy from D1 Baseball on Wednesday. I told him on texting him before the show. I said, I'm not going to sound all that good because I got the flu. And he says, well, this is your Jordan flu game today. Everybody calls it the flu game. Nobody called it the food poisoning game. Because it's just a lot easier to say flu game. It rolls off the tongue a lot easier.
The women's Finnish hockey team, they call it the food poisoning game, though.
Yes, they call it the norovirus game. Did anybody see about that? That Finland again. I forget who it was that Finland was playing. It was supposed to be yesterday, and they had their game, their initial game in the Winter Olympics postponed a week because the entire Finnish women's hockey team had norovirus. Like all of them. Nobody wants to see that. The whole thing. So I told you about the time on the Travelers bus where we had a bunch of guys that ended up getting sick. They had the norovirus, but not everybody got sick. We still had pitchers that could hit. I guess the Finnish women's hockey team literally wouldn't have had anybody be able to go out there and play. And man, I would hope they would not be wearing white uniforms if they were.
Well, speaking of teams that are going to play, and it's been a hot topic. It seems like all week, and I don't know if it's because that they Amber Hearded the bed at home Saturday against Kentucky, but this Hog team's going to Mississippi State, and I liked what Aaron said. Phil, he said, yeah, they haven't beat them there since 2016, but he's going to go with what Coach Cal's done against them, not what Arkansas has done against them.
Mm-hmm.
And Coach Cal seems to beat the Mississippi State, so I tend to go. I'll kind of lean that way as well. But I do think it's a very important stretch for this basketball team. And it's an important stretch just to figure out your identity, where we get that it's the Acuff led team, but who are going to be the B players? Who's going to be the other guys to step up? Because as good as Acuff is, he's not good enough to make it to a Final Four on his own. He's just not. You defensively, you got to play help defense. You got to play team defense. Anytime you're starting two freshman guards, your defense is going to be lacking. I mean, because they haven't been in the college off seasons. I don't know if they understand some of the concepts. So yeah, this team has a lot to work on, and maybe the bye week came at a right time. And I don't know how much I told you I'm not really buying into the Mississippi State and LSU games unless we lose. That you kind of look at it, like if we win both those games by 1 point apiece, it's a road SEC. Go win the game. Figure out in winning. It's contagious. You see your teammate have success, man, you start having success, and it gets contagious, kind of like the flu, but not as bad. But they for the next 4 games are going to be telling. I just don't know how much we buy into the regular season. Like we watch it, we see it for what it is. Is everybody healthy? Are we understanding concepts? Do we have an identity? Do we have a physicality about us? Do we have an athleticism about? There's some things you're trying to check some boxes. Can we make outside shots? We don't turn the ball over a lot. Can we stay aggressive? Do we get to the free? There's so many things you look at. Can this team do well? And they're just not really. Whatever, and maybe it's expectations. Maybe that matters a little bit. Is that like, hey, this is supposed to be a Final Four team, and then you watch them, you go, they're not a Final Four team. That's not how a Final Four team plays. So and can they catch lightning in the bottle because of their length? I think so. I think when we get to March, if they're all healthy and depending on matchups. Or is it going to be a thing where they don't have that second player? Like, who is our second player?
But there's options there as a second guy. They're there. Whether it's Knox,
there's talent.
If he's healthy, it can be Knox. Trevin Brazil, as long as he's not acting like a knucklehead, he can be that. And Malik Thomas absolutely
Instant
can
offense.
be that number 2 guy behind Acuff. It's just you don't see it consistently enough from each of them. And I want to see somebody. It's like Acuff's going to have an off day. I'm not saying it's tomorrow. Somebody else is going to have to lead the team in scoring in a win at some point because it's not going to be him every single game.
Our rebound, being able to rebound, being able to have some anticipation. We don't get enough easy baskets, meaning transition baskets, and we don't get enough baskets off our defense.
And they should get enough easy baskets in transition. I'm not going to tell you they should get more baskets off their defense, but any stop you get, any long rebound you get.
With Billy Richmond and Carter Knox and Trevin Brazil and Acuff and Thomas and those guys running the floor, we should have points in the paint. We should have transition points. I mean, those guys, every one of those guys can go, except for Acuff. And Malik's kind of, they're not really above the rim players. It's tough. But I do think Malik Ewan is probably the most improved player since conference ball started.
It's funny, they do play above the rim sometimes when they're having alley-oops lobbed to them, but sometimes that's about the only way. I had to read Wookie's text on the text line here a couple times. He said Arkansas played with fire the 3 games before the Kentucky game, and it burned them against Kentucky. Now, when I first read that, Wookie, I thought you meant that they were playing with fire, like they actually were coming out on fire, and they weren't, but I see what you mean. They were playing with fire because you almost lost to LSU in your own building, and then Oklahoma on the road, they had you down quite a bit too.
Or something early, yeah.
It was early, and then to be down. That's the thing. So it is 3 games in a row. You have questioned specifically defensive effort. but Wookie says he thinks they blow Mississippi State out by double digits, and I would love to see that. If that's going to happen, you're going to get much more on in transition that you got against Kentucky, and to me, that's going to tell you, because that's how you're going to score on threes. You're going to score in transition, and to me, that's how this team wins. Now you got to score better in the half court too, but those two things you're going to have to. How do you score? This is a team, Matt, that I think was leading the SEC in 3-point shooting before the game. They literally scored 11 points against Kentucky on threes and fast breaks. 11 for the whole game. I think there are going to be games where they should be scoring
30
in the 40s,
20 plus every game.
Absolutely, on threes and fast breaks alone.
11 should be a half. They should minimum 11 points through threes and fast breaks a half.
Keith says the offense is fine, just got to get stops on defense, but it's the defense that will lead to easier offense too. That's how you're going to get your fast breaks.
We don't get enough easy baskets, enough off of turnovers, off transition. We get some, but not enough. We have to grind, it seems like, for most of our offensive buckets that then other teams don't. Our intensity hasn't been matched. We talked about this was going to be one of the most athletic teams they played since Houston. Do you want to know, watching that Kentucky-Arkansas game, Kentucky looked like the more athletic team. Like from top to bottom, they look like they had the better athletes, and you can't say that a lot when you watch a Coach Cal team.
Here's another thing too, and you're like wondering who's the other guy going to be, who's the Robin to the Batman, and obviously I think they want it to be Malik Thomas. In conference play, Thomas and Acuff represent. Let's just do quick math here. It's 254. Of 568 total shots for the team. Acuff and Thomas are taking 45% of the shots.
I just don't know. I mean, I get it, and this is the Sophie's choice. So your two best players, obviously, you want them to take more of the shots. But what happens, and it's human nature, Phil, it's when you play basketball and you're playing 25, 28, 30 minutes a game, and you don't touch the ball, you don't get any shots, and then what you're doing is watching. It's just human. You just start standing and watching because you're like, well, they're going to get in a little two-man game. They're going to go, and the one thing I've noticed about Malik Thomas, if he gets that ball with under 12 seconds on the shot clock, he's not passing it. You're not getting the ball back, and that's not good. It's good in the fact that he has a one-track mind to score. I get that. But he's got to be a better passer of the ball because there's open and all these guys we're talking about. If there's not a man around them and we lose the game because we're missing open shots, then we're just not good enough. Because I think all these guys that are playing, they can hit open jump shots.
Okay, now a couple other things I will point out here, and it's statistically based. Carter Knox, 31 of his 55 shots in conference are threes.
He's not aggressive. He's checked out. He's not even checked in. He should be blowing past people. He should be able to do something, get him on his body. He's bigger, stronger, faster than most people that are guarding him.
But does that tell you maybe something's up with his foot too?
I think there's something up. I don't know if it's his foot, mentally, whatever, but I think we talked about that on Monday. There's something that we don't know about that's going on with Carter.
And then the other one is Brazile. 39% of his shots are threes. And he's got a good shot and everything, but with his size, and I know he's not like the biggest in terms of width, but the height is there. And it's like, I don't know. I thought maybe he'd be a little bit more, force is not the word, but an ability to score around the paint, but you don't really see it as often. So 39% of Brazile shots are threes. More than half of Knox's shots are threes, and then 46% of the overall shots are from Acuff and Thomas. With Acuff, I think, do you mind that he's taking his percentage of the shots, and this is in conference, is 26%?
No.
That's about right?
Yes. He can take more. He can take Acuff. He's the leader of the team. No, if I was Carter Knox, I'd be taking Acuff to Slim's Chicken every time I got a chance to. I'd have my arm around him. I'd be buddies. I'd be like, hey, buddy, what you want to go play? I'm assuming they play PlayStation 5.
Hey, buddy, lunch is on you today.
Yeah, you're making more than I am. Let's go play video games. Let's be around each other because that's That's the connection that's missing a little bit. If they could get some type of 2-man game going, get something working there, and if he's gonna be a zero, then you got to sit him down till he's healthy. Because whatever this isn't working.
You'd have been interested to see if either of the 7-footers could have played this year. Jovic from Bosnia and Herzegovina and Paulo Semedo from Angola, 7 foot, 7'1", both in the, Jovic is 285 pounds. But, I mean, who knows if he came even close to being ready to play. Doesn't seem like he would have. Otherwise, he might have been out there by now. And there's some interesting numbers to look at here on our stat sheet. Neil Atkinson coming up in just a moment here on Halftime. Joe's Grill and Cantina. Hey, Joe's Grill and Cantina's got you excited about Arkansas basketball tomorrow at 11 o'clock in the morning. Get over there and wear your Razorback gear, and you're going to get half-price apps and cheap taps. That's for every Razorback basketball game. As long as the Hogs are playing, they'll be on all the TVs at Joe's Grill and Cantina, plus happy hour deals 3 to 6. It's Joe's Grill and Cantina on 74th, right across from Harps in Fort Smith. Fast, friendly service, and also online at joesfortsmith.com. All right, we'll talk with Neil Atkinson from Betsares in just a moment. This is Halftime.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946. Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu has so much Lutz, it's starting to go to people's heads. I'm the Lutzierge.
Which is the mini taco salad fork?
Here to help them cope. So when you try the mini taco salad, beefy potato loaded griller, or chips and nacho supreme dip, enjoy the Lutz. Just don't let it go to your head.
Yeah, bring the car around.
You know there's no valet.
Then who's getting the car?
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
There's nothing better than hitting a bet unless your whole crew hits it with you. That's what MyBookie's all about. Are you ready for the next 2 weeks of the NFL? We're hooking you up with 2 can't-lose locks of season. Bet up to $10 per lock and double your money when they hit. Select the lock of season tab in the sportsbook. Wager up to $10 per lock. Double your money on 4 bets that can't lose. Don't forget about the Bet Back bonus. Go to MyBookie now, punch in code HOGS, and get your first bet covered up to $500. If you don't hit on the first bet, just use your Bet Back bonus token and run it back. Must opt in to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they love the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
I wanna feel, we can't help but feel it's something else than life.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust. Let's get back to the show with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Neil Atkinson is the Senior Director of Bet Saracen Sportsbook Operations and joins us Fridays here on Halftime on the Lewis Automotive Group Hotline. And Neil, happy Super Bowl weekend. Might as well say it's already started since it's Friday afternoon. So how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, I'm calling today Super Friday. Usually in my world, people call it Super Friday before they go on vacation. But in my world, this is definitely Super Friday, getting ready for everything that has to do with the Super Bowl, and still got a lot of college basketball, NBA, and then we got an extra layer this year with the Olympics.
Yeah, all coming around the same time. So tell me where the betting line is for the Super Bowl, and where are people putting their money at the moment?
Well, currently right now the line is pretty much stayed steady throughout it. It's wobbled a little bit, and right now as we speak, it is actually moved a slight bit off of yesterday. Seattle is right now a 4-point favorite at -4 on Bet Saracen. I'd expect it to wobble back to 4.5. And depending on where the late money comes in on Sunday, which is where the majority of the money that we take on the Super Bowl will come in on Sunday, that can move the line a little bit more. So if you are a Seattle bettor, just looking at the trend, you may want to lock that number in now. And get them at 4 versus 4.5. Most of the betting sites that I've seen out there and the analysis and all of that, they were be more confident if they had Seattle at +5 a little bit. But that's where we're at right now, and that represents an aggregate about 76% of all the bets on Bet Saracen right now are either on Seattle or Seattle in the money line, but we've only got maybe 20% of what will have come in between now and kickoff on Sunday.
When is the moment that you expect most of the bets come in? Is it just before the game? Is it during the pregame show? Is it in the morning? And kind of people hold on to their thoughts until just before kickoff usually?
Yeah, kickoff is with all the festivities and all that was at about 5:30. Is the scheduled kickoff. Starting right at 4 o'clock, the bet ticker will be absolutely ramming and jamming, and we'll be at full speed. We're already planning to have all of our technical stuff to have full memory available, extra memory, failover. We've done a stress test this week. So just getting ready for all of that. But we'll see the majority. We'll probably see 50% of what we have on either side, either Seattle or New England, come in that hour and a half before kickoff.
Usually it's going to be a quarterback that wins the MVP. What's the MVP market looking like on Bet Saracen?
Well, yeah, like you said, the winningest team quarterback has claimed MVP honors 75% of the Super Bowls since 2000. So obviously you're going to have Sam Darnold is going to be the favorite right now at plus 115, followed by Drake May at 240 there. And we are seeing them hammer the Sam Darnold one. And the other one that we're starting to see is, and although he's fourth in it, is Kenneth Walker III at plus 800. We're actually seeing some action on him, a little bit more than Drake May, and a little bit, not as much as Drake May, excuse me, but a little bit more than Jackson Smith. That's just I thought that was interesting that someone a little bit down on the list is getting it, but he's getting plus 800, so you're getting 8-1 on your money. So that's not that's a decent play. Of course, I wouldn't bet the farm on that one, but if you're looking for an MVP play with value, that may be one, and that's just what the betting public in Arkansas is leaning towards.
Well, you got with Hunter Henry playing, I would assume that there's a lot of folks who may be looking for specific prop bets that involve Hunter Henry in this Super Bowl, maybe.
Well, yeah, and we realized that pretty quick when we start seeing when the anytime touchdown markets came out, right after we saw that he was in the lead for the most number of bets that we had on that market. So we've got a special section for him under the Super Bowl specials site. So and we've gotten a lot of good favorable comments on having that one. And let me switch to the tab. There are so many of these markets right now, it's hard for me to keep up with them. I thought I had all my tabs already out, but on the Super Bowl specials, we've got Hunter Henry. Let's see, we've got 10 different markets for him outside his regular betting stats you can do. Like the one with the lowest, the lowest return is 5+ receptions and 50 receiving yards, and we've got one bet if he could score a touchdown in both halves, excluding overtime, plus 4,000. And we've got a whole bunch of different kind of bets out there around him, and got some pretty nice pricing on some of it. So he is definitely the hometown favorite here as far as an individual player, but they're putting their money on Seattle for the overall game.
Yeah. What about, I saw this one with some fun Super Bowl promos, the Doink of Destiny.
Oh, yeah. The Doink it played a role in the playoffs. There was a couple of during the regular playoffs, and even had one in the college football national championship. And since the NFL decided to invest in technology to be able to record a Doink hitting the upright, they've got sound and they've got video there to make sure that happens. So we decided we would capitalize on it, and we've got a fun little promo with that one where if you make a bet on that Doink of Destiny and it does happen, we're going to give you another $25 in free bets on that one. So that's an easy one. Doesn't take any skill. Just if you think that a extra point or a field goal hits the upright and does not go in, you can cash in on that one. That's one of the little fun ones that we have.
Okay, so many times during the college season, our listeners wanted a computer prediction of the Razorback game. Ever since your computer model came so close to the Memphis final score, what does it say about the Super Bowl?
Well, the same model also, nailed the national championship exactly, So this is what it has on the Super Bowl. It has Seattle at 24, New England Patriots 20. So, and those simulations are continuously updated until an hour before kickoff. And we haven't seen very much model drift or anything like that in them. And that projected score has stayed pretty much the same over the 2 weeks since the line has come out.
Neil Atkinson is with us, Senior Director of Bet Saracen Sportsbook Operations. Neil, just a little on basketball here. I saw Darius Acuff is on the board for the John Wooden Award on Bet Saracen. He's a long shot, but he's on that board right now. Yeah,
and he's not that deep on the board, but he's at plus 10,000. You know, you got Cameron Boozer with Duke right now that's listed as minus 1,800 as the favorite. But, you know, there's still a lot of basketball to be played, and things can happen. And, of course, you know, he has garnered a lot of attention with Arkansas, maybe not as much as what I've deserved, especially in some of the weekly honors. But yeah, he's on the board there, and we like promoting that. And also, by the way, talking about Arkansas and the different props, right now Arkansas is the third betting favorite to still win the SEC regular season. You can get plus 900 or 9-1 on them right now for that one. Florida right now is the favorite at minus 240, and Texas A&M at plus 550. But Arkansas is the third most betting favorite as of right now today.
All right, to wrap it up, Olympics have started. What's available? Is everything available for Olympics on Bet Saracen?
Yeah, for all the major events and during the qualifying, there is a huge menu of that, and we've also got the menus when you go under when you go under the futures, where you can do things such as medal counts and by country and things of that nature. Some of those will be updated and will be live markets as the Olympic progresses over the next 2 weeks. I think the opening ceremonies are going on right now as we speak over there in Italy, so that's going on. But the most of those markets are out, and they're under the winter sports. But hockey, Winter Olympics hockey, is going to be under the hockey tab, and though that's as far as team sports go. Men's hockey and women's hockey are going to be our two most bet markets there. And of course, if we have any of the athletes that have a breakout and are in medal contention and things of that nature, based on the different Olympic coverage, I'm sure that we'll have some markets explode there as that comes out. And it's funny. I guess a lot of my base likes the ice skating and the figure skating. I think that one, you know, with your general sports bettors would be a popular one, but we're seeing a little bit of action on the ice skating for some reason on that one too. So just all the Olympic sports, just remember some of these Olympic things that you see on TV are tape delayed and has already been decided. So we've historically during the Olympics gotten a few calls saying, "Hey, where's the market up for this one?" And we refrain from asking them what side they want to bet on before we tell them that the match is already concluded. So just keep an eye on that and know the difference between live Olympic events and things that may be displayed later during prime time.
Well, let's leave it there, Neil. Enjoy your visits, and hope you have a good weekend. Thanks as always.
All righty, and everybody make sure you check out the promo tabs. We just don't have the Doink of Destiny. We have 100% profit boost. We've got 100% no sweat bets for parlays. And many others with basketball and NBA. Check those out. Good luck, everybody. Bet with your head and not over it. Don't get carried away on your sports betting. Keep it fun and entertaining, and good luck on your parlays.
Neil Atkinson is the Senior Director of Bet Saracen Sportsbook Operations and joins us on Fridays on Halftime. You can download Bet Saracen from the App Store for your iPhone. If you got an Android, it's Google Play, or just go to betsaracen.com. Back in a moment for the home stretch. This is Halftime.
Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for taking my call today.
This is Halftime.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text AREA to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text AREA to 42424. That's AREA to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Start the year strong with New Holland 300 Series compact track loaders from WT Equipment. Enjoy outstanding comfort, class-leading visibility, and best-in-class boom geometry for exceptional lift and reach. With fuel-efficient models from 60 to 90 horsepower and a wide range of attachments, the 300 Series CTLs are ready for whatever the job and the year throws at you. See the New Holland 300 Series compact track loaders today at WT Equipment in Springdale. WT Equipment. Equip your future, elevate your potential.
A friend is someone who knows where you came from. Someone who always shows up when you need them. Someone who's there for the good times and the challenging ones. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design personal protection plans backed by the team J.D. Power ranked #1 in customer satisfaction among auto insurers in the Central Region 7 of the last 8 years.
Call Brandon Zimmerman in Barling or call Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith.
90 years. That's how long the Hug family has been a part of this town. Through dust bowls, downturns, and drive-thrus, we've been right here, selling trucks to grandfathers and now their grandkids. Because it isn't just about cars, it's about connection. We're proud to still be your local GM dealership after all these years. Hug Chevrolet GMC, since the beginning, still right here.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the relief hotline at 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737. 800-606-8737.
Logan Fury did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he bought a mini treadmill. Is walking on it during video conference calls more distracting than he thought? Yes. And is that because he overestimated his foot-eye coordination? Definitely. But it's Logan's savings, and if he wants to burn calories and any chance at a promotion, we say, good for you, Logan. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust. Now let's get back to halftime with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Arkansas football legend Matt Jones.
Still no decision on the Charles Bediako case, but expecting that may come by the end of the day. And I guess they're still figuring out whether or not Joey Aguilar is going to get more eligibility. Trinidad Chambliss. Oh, man. Mess of college sports. One segment left here as we take you up until 2 o'clock, and then Ruskin and Zach will take you the rest of the way. Sonny Jurgensen passed away just before we got on the air today, Matt, age 90. Longtime quarterback back in the day with the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins from 57 through 74. Would you believe that a quarterback still holds a single-season passing record for a current NFL franchise, and that passing touchdown record was set in 1967. Sonny Jurgensen threw 31 touchdowns for Washington, and that still is the record for the Washington football franchise. 31 touchdowns. He did that in 14 games. They now play 17.
You mean Mark Ripken and Doug Johnson,
Williams,
Doug Williams and Rex Grossman.
Right.
They didn't. That's wild. That's awesome, man. I think he has one of the all-time best football names. Like Sonny, that's just such a cool quarterback. Like Sonny Jurgensen. Like, come on, get out of here. It's amazing.
Of course, it would be Jurgensen. That's right. Yeah. No. He played up until he was 40 years old too. It was actually halfway decent at the age of 40. I think he also would have played for. Lombardi. It was Lombardi's last year or two was coaching Washington. We sometimes forget about that. He was not always just the Green Bay Packers coach, but yeah, Jurgensen also was on the Washington radio broadcast up until 2019. So here's the other aspect too. It's like football players living until 90 now. You know, with everything that we know about the concussions, and I'm pretty sure Jurgensen would have taken some.
He played D-back for Duke and won 2 ACC titles. So yes,
Goodness.
He had some concussions. He played both ways,
Played
both sides
both
of the
ways
ball
in
since
college.
Duke 50s, and won 2 back-to-back ACC titles. Yep,
That's amazing. That's amazing. But it just blows me away because I know the NFL. It was the AFL that was more of the passing league.
You know why so his name is Christian Adolph. That's why I went to Sonny. How many people do you know anymore that are named Adolph? That's a name that nobody.
I know Christians.
Nobody's. That's Christian Adolph. I think I'd have changed my name to Sonny as well.
The only Adolf I remember was this was a long time ago. That was
Adolph Rupp, the Kentucky coach.
Well, no, this was a movie called Ruthless People with Danny DeVito and Bette Midler and Little Rock's very own Judge Reinhold and Helen Slater playing his wife. And DeVito has a dog named Adolf. That's the only time I ever remember it in any pop culture. So yes, I would not have. And if you remember the word, the actual line from the movie, it was because he hates his wife Bette Midler in the movie, and Bette's got this tiny little dog named Muffy, and it's Muffy meet Adolf. Adolf eat Muffy, and then has him chase the dog down and everything. But that's the only Adolf I know.
You never seen nothing till you're down on a muffin.
And let that sit out there for a moment. Thank you.
Eat muff.
That's a good way to end that little segment.
My
there.
timing
That's right.
hasn't been good at all this week, man. I've been off. I got measured wrong. I went to get my snowsuit, my ski suit, my jumping suit, and I didn't take the right accoutrement to get the right suit. So my timing's I've been off all week. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'll do better next week.
You're saying that you're lacking the extra 9 feet that the Norwegian ski jumping team is getting.
The first 4.5 feet was consensual.
Yes, that's right.
See, my timing's still off. I can't do anything. But I don't know. I'm sorry.
What a great cheating scandal that is. I mean, it's the only cheating. Well, what other cheating scandals have made you kind of raise your eyebrows and laugh at it at all? Okay, is there anyone that actually made you laugh? When Albert Bell, I forget who it was. It wasn't Albert Bell, but Bell had a corked bat, and it was confiscated by the umpires. And one of his teammates, I think this was with the White Sox, one of his teammates climbed through, above the roof panel or the ceiling panels at the ballpark in order to get into the umpire's locker room and take back the bat and steal the bat so they wouldn't have the evidence of the corked bat. That's one of the funnier instances of, anything involving cheating I've heard before. Or like Joe Niekro. Niekro was a knuckleballer, and they would check him sometimes whether or not he scuffed the ball. And so he's pitching, I think it was with the Twins at this moment, and it's a famous video. The umpires are coming out to him to say, let's see what you got. And he doesn't think they're looking, and he takes the nail file out of his back pocket and just throws it as if they're not going to see it.
What was the pitcher for the Yankees about 6 years ago that had the stuff right there on his hat and walked out there and they're like, no, bro, come on. You can't that's like, oh, come on, man. You can't just right there. Like, I don't know.
Kenny Rogers. And this was I remember when it was the World Series and it was St. Louis against Detroit. Kenny Rogers pitching for Detroit, and Tony La Russa had the umpires get him to wash his neck. You remember, because I think he had pine tar on his neck. Those are, but
George
that's
Brett
still,
Pine Tar. That was pretty good. Yeah.
Well, he ended up winning anyway from there. But all of this pales in comparison to injecting yourself in a very specific crotchal region so that you can get an extra centimeter or two of material. Hey, I guess there's two aspects to this. You take the pain for whatever that injection feels like so that you get your extra 9 feet, and then, you might walk around a little bit differently later on in the Olympic Village.
Well, there's two ways. American sports people, Mike Vrabel saying he would take off 4.5 feet. Like he'll take off a little bit, and then the Norwegians are like, no, we want more. So
That's the
it's
thing.
a weird way to look at it.
Yeah, it was like bigger body. Certain spaces a little bit more difficult to move, but then you get it shielded off properly. Notice this is not a problem in women's ski jumping.
What about the chestal region?
I don't know.
Could that be you could get a little more lift?
No, but there's probably because of where the crotch is located and how, the air is going to pass right through there.
Yeah,
I've never,
a lot of air.
and here, lots of, some more than others.
Maybe you would eat a couple burritos before you go so you have more air. So there's a lot of ways to get up there.
I don't think they're going to let you eat that before you go on. Yeah, that's obvious cheating right
Wouldn't
there.
you do like what the UFC people do? You would try to gain 400 pounds and go get fit for your suit, and then you would just like cut weight for a week and then be like, yeah, no, this is what I got fitted for my suit 2 months ago, and now I've lost 40 pounds and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, you were a little bit heavier, just a little bit lower before we got out here today. Yeah, man. Just the stupidest thing, but I guess it's worked. This is probably something that's been going on for decades. And just now realizing it, just like fishermen for years have been weighting their fish with weights. And we just didn't realize it until somebody thought, you know what, they're probably weighting the fish. Because that fish doesn't really look like it should be as heavy as that scale says it is. We're just like, all right, well, this guy over here, there's no way he should be jumping an extra 9 feet. Go check his junk.
Go.
Yeah, right. You're going to look some ball player, some Major League Baseball player, all of it. Brady Anderson hits 51 home runs a year after he hits 15. Be like, you know what? Something's going on there. There's a little evidence that something's not quite right with Brady Anderson. This guy should not be hitting 52 home runs. Do you realize that the Sven over here is walking just a little bit awkwardly compared to the way he was yesterday? He just looks a little bit different. And he added 9 feet to his jump. How did he do that? It's talent. It's talent, Matt.
Dedication.
Talent of a different kind, though.
Yeah. You got to be committed.
If you're going to inject yourself there, you're going to absolutely be committed to it. 100%.
No thanks.
Be committed to being a great Razorback fan and get yourself clothed at rowback.com in the Arkansas Game Day collection, because they got what you're looking for, all the best Q-zips, hoodies, polos, just for Razorback fans, stuff you won't find anywhere else at rowback.com, RHOBACK.com. And if you use the code RUSH25 at checkout, you'll get 20% off your first order. It's Rowback, and it's where action meets comfort. And we're back in a moment and wrap up halftime.
Let's crank up a little MC Hammer. You can't touch this. And then I went to Technotronic. Pump up the jam, baby.
This is halftime.
Since 1967, one name has defined performance in the River Valley. Wheeler Power Sports, the 9th oldest Kawasaki dealer in the country. Right now, the future has arrived. Come witness the 250 horsepower Kawasaki Teryx Supercharged H2. It's a game changer. With over 300 vehicles in stock, we've got your Ninjas, your Gixxers, and the full Polaris lineup. From Razors to the Ranger XD 1500. Financing is available with approved credit. We also buy used bikes. Text or swing by for a quote today. Wheeler Power Sports in historic downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
All-white chicken meat breaded in tortilla chips. They're Taco Bell's crispy chicken nuggets. Pretty different than the nuggets you're used to. Haters will say, that's not the classic nugget. Haters are right. Haters will love them anyways. Oh, and they come with Hidden Valley Ranch, another classic. But we mix it up with Diablo. They can't hate that. I mean, they can, but they won't. Crispy chicken nuggets from Taco Bell. A brand new classic. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last.
Contractors, you've got jobs to win and customers to impress. That's why you choose Luxair HVAC systems, built for performance, efficiency, and reliability. And at J&B Supply, we've had your back since 1968. We're a local family-owned distributor that treats our customers like family too, with the products, expertise, and service you need to get the job done right. For over 50 years, HVAC and plumbing pros have trusted J&B Supply in Fort Smith, Springdale, and Bentonville. J&B Supply, where the professionals go.
Hey Razorback fans, Matt Jones here. We're all experiencing higher prices on just about everything, and that includes sunrooms, patio covers, and windows. If you've gotten an estimate on any of these projects and you were shocked by the price, then you need to call Sawyers. They've been making quality, affordable products for 35 years. They're local, they have 100% financing, and a beautiful showroom with all their products displayed. So give my buddy Buzz a call or check them out, sawyers-sunrooms.com.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text AREA to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text AREA to 42424. That's AREA to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Okay, guys, quick PSA. Forgetting Valentine's Day flowers is not the move. Get it right this year. Send farm fresh flowers from the Books Company. And right now, get 25% off with code CANTY. Books flowers are cut fresh, so you get bigger, brighter blooms that last way longer. And it's easy. Pick the bouquet, the delivery date, and you're done. Valentine's Day is February 14th, right after the big game, so order now. Go to Books.com and use code CANTY for 25% off. That's BOUQS.com.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust.
My body's burning like a flame that flew. It's time for action and a void from you.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Well, Matt, Chris from Springdale texted in with something that we've kind of hit on all week. He doesn't remember when there's been any less hype around a Super Bowl, which means maybe it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, weirdest. That was my golf song that I like to play for all the golfers out there. They'll get that.
You getting out there today? It's a great day for golf.
Slice nice. Man, Phil, you've done radio. I've done radio on and on about 8 years or so, and this is the least amount of Super Bowl hype, Super Bowl talk, Super Bowl lore, anything. Nobody. There's nothing. There's really no interest. It's been a weird Super Bowl week.
Yeah, I don't think it's the franchises, because there was a ton of hype when Seattle and New England first met. What was that, 11, 12 years ago? I don't remember exactly the year, but there was a ton of hype because there were storylines that you were familiar with, and athletes that you were familiar with, coaches that you were familiar with.
Okay, real quick, who's the head coach of the Seattle Sea Chickens?
It's Mike McDonald.
Okay, you knew. All right.
Now, I know that. But I'll tell you what, if you would have asked me that a month and a half ago,
that's what I mean, right?
Probably wouldn't have been able to tell you.
I thought when the playoffs were starting, I thought Geno Smith was still the quarterback for the Seahawks.
Yeah, and look how the Raiders did with him.
I'm taking the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. Who do you guys got? You change your mind yet?
I'm leaning more towards Seattle with each day. I tell you what though, I think Vrabel is a terrific coach. I'm not going to put him in that category like with Belichick, and I think Belichick deserves his flowers for the Super Bowls. It's not just Brady. He was so good at taking away what the opponent did so well defensively, and I think Vrabel's just a really good coach. But I'm starting to see it more your way. I think JSN is going to be the most dynamic potential playmaker on the field. Seattle's defense has been awfully good, and I think may be a turnover or two away from the game flipping. Here's the thing about this though, like there might not be a lot of hype around the game or stars that we can really I guess connect with yet, but if it's a good game, people are going to watch and the ratings will be just fine. They'll be great, especially if you get a tight fourth quarter and it's like the last time these franchises met. Here's what people are going to watch the Super Bowl. It's just a matter of that are you going to stay on it and really be into it? Like this could be the game where some of these players become household names. That's what the Super Bowl's about.
I don't see either one of these teams blowing the other one out, so I would think that I'm going to watch it as long as it's like a 2-possession game. Like if somebody gets up 4 scores, I won't. You go do something else. But I think it'll be one of those deals where I don't think anybody's going to get up more than 3 scores, 2 scores. So it'll be a good game.
Yeah, like if it was a Seattle over Denver kind of a Super Bowl where you can tell, like the first quarter, the game was over. Yeah, at that point, maybe throw on From Russia with Love because that's going to be the next Bond movie for me. All right. I think I've made it through the week. I can't believe I actually did it. Thank you guys for everything all week long. And thanks to the listeners and the texters and the callers. And then hopefully by Monday, I'll only sound like I smoked 1 pack of Virginia Slims instead of 3. So Ruskin and Zach are coming up in just a moment. That's halftime today for Matt, Christian. I'm Phil. Have a great weekend.